Hey, fellas, you ready for a sorority Christmas party? Yeah! You ready for a 1 6-pack of beer? You ready for no music?
What?
You ready for just one guy stingily smoking weed by himself?
Sort of.
But a bunch of bitches get killed and it's got Bricky Stevens!
Woo!
That's
This
right.
one's for the ladies. We watched Mrs. Claus. We watch it so you don't have to. So you know what time it is.
Horror, so bad and scary. Splitting up is never okay. Plot, who needs it? Don't turn on the lights. Cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horror, so bad and scary. Enjoy the show. Really?
What's up, Moon Goons? Welcome to Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. Movies so bad they're scary. I'm your host, Mr. Marshall Hampton. With me, as always, is my co-host, my buddy, Mr. Aaron Southworth. Aaron, say hello.
What?
What?
What's up?
This is the end of December. This is December, last week in December. We are closing out our annual Christmas horror movie marathon with a little movie called Mrs. Claus. And to help us close out this wonderful occasion, bring in the new year, we brought in our friends, our pals from Here Comes the Spooky, the podcast. That's your second favorite podcast. Mr. Cincinnati Jeff and Nachos McWerewolf. They're back. Say hello, gentlemen.
Salsa Von Mummy in the house.
There we go.
Ow! You doing up at this bitch?
Nacho, it was good to see you, man. Cincinnati
wow.
Jeff, Merry Christmas. Hope everything was good.
It was good. I had a very good Christmas. How about you?
It was really good. What was your number one gift?
I got this Godzilla vs. Mothra action figure.
Nice.
It is dope. Immediately took out of the box and played with.
Just like the big kid you are.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, mine was actually also a figure as well. It was a Magneto. It was like this Japanese toy, like stand-up, and it's got like magnetic hands.
Oh, is
those
that
are
like
cool.
the Amaguchi or whatever?
Yeah. So my wife
Those
found
are
that and got
fucking
it for me. It
killer.
was awesome. So totally stoked about that. Nachos, what about you?
I got rear-ended.
All right.
That was
Now, is this in a car or in the bedroom?
both. Well, it ended up in the car, and then we brought it to the bedroom.
That's how you settled it out of court?
Right. It's like, well, your jaw's gonna be sore because either we're fist fighting or I'm gonna fuck your throat.
Merry Christmas. One of all. Marshall?
Let's see. I didn't really get a whole lot this year. I got to, with the kid, most of myself is all focused on.
You do have
on
some
the
pretty
kids.
sweet white sweatpants.
I did get some sweet white sweatpants
That
that
you're
Eric
wearing
gave me
right
shit
now,
about,
yeah.
but they're incredibly comfortable and
Right
I
on.
like them.
Right on.
I did get it's not here yet. I haven't displayed it yet, but I did get a Darth Vader head that looks like just a display piece, but it actually is a humidifier.
Oh.
So you plug it in and water comes. So I'm like, that's awesome.
Does it wheeze?
I wish. No.
Shit.
I wish it had it came out of his mouth. It just comes on the top of his helmet, but it had the as the water came out. That'd be amazing.
That's hilarious.
But I tried it out. It kind of sucks as a humidifier, but as a shelf decorative piece of a Darth Vader helmet, it's still fucking awesome. So
Cool.
I'm
All right.
excited about that. That's cool.
That's very cool.
Let's see. Other than that, yeah. Speaking of, we do have, while you're here, Cincinnati Jeff, Salsa Van Mummy, was nice enough. Totally caught me off guard, but sent us a little Christmas present.
Oh, boy.
Sent it to the show. So I already know what it is because I opened it, but you do not.
I
so
don't.
It's a puppy.
I'm giving you your present is a Chucky.
Wow.
All the
Dude,
Chucky
that's
Child's Play
incredible.
movie collection on Blu-ray.
It's the Blu-ray box set of all the Chucky movies.
Yes.
Man, that is incredibly nice. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, man. It's just trying to spread some Christmas cheer there, after listening to Elves.
I just got you guys lottery tickets and booze.
Hey, but you know what? That lottery ticket could be worth more than
Right?
anything on this table.
These are practical as fuck.
That's like the lamest excuse that you can always counteract a real present.
Yeah.
It's like,
could be.
mine could be worth more. You never know.
Well, I know you'd mentioned that last time we were hanging out for trivia.
Yeah.
Like I haven't really seen them all.
No, I haven't.
So you guys torture yourselves year round
My
with
God.
such terrible movies. I thought maybe it was a chance to get on for like a good one.
Get on board.
Get on going.
Get on for a good one.
Even the worst Chucky is better than
Seed of
the half the
Chucky.
shit you guys do.
Fuck. Although Jennifer Tilly does have some sweet knockers.
Well, and that segue. No, but we will move on to, like I said, we're going to talk about this week's movie, Mrs. Claus.
Mrs. Claus.
This was released on April 3rd, last year of 2018. Christmas movie released in April is always a good sign.
What's with that sassy black woman thing? April 3rd. Mm-hmm. Girl.
Originally, it was titled Stirring, and then it got changed to Mrs. Claus at some point. It was written and directed by Troy Escamilla. He's only got 3 directing credits, including this. He's got a movie called Party Night, which is also on my list of movies to get to for this show as well.
Party night.
And a movie called Teacher Shortage, which is in post-production. It comes out in 2020, and I think that's another slasher as well or something. The cast of this movie, we're talking about a few people. We have Mrs. Werner, played by Helen Udy, I don't know, Udy, 88 credits. She was in the original Dead Zone movie back in the 80s. She was in Amityville, Evil Never Dies, Swamp Freak, 1313, Franken Queen. What? And she played Sylvia for all you hardcore horror hounds, horror heads, all those horror guys. She played Sylvie in the original My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah. Okay.
Whoa.
So, and then we have Julie Cornell, played by none other than Brinky Stevens. Everybody knows her. 204 credits. Obviously, she was Linda in the original Summer Party Massacre and Taffy in Sorority Girls in the Slime Bowl, Bolorama. Both movies we've done on this show. Many others she's been in.
Yeah, she was also Death House. She was a brief appearance in Death House.
Everybody's in Death House.
And
And like
also,
a lot of other stuff.
Night of Something Strange. She was a teacher in that.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right. She was.
brief cameo, but yeah, she's approaching on Hall of Fame status.
Well, she's definitely a
candidate. Yeah,
candidate. She was a candidate last year too.
It's an honor just to be nominated.
It is just an honor just to be nominated. It's a big esteem. And last thing I wrote down is Amber, who's played by Kylie Williams. She's got 63 credits in movies including movies Slices of Life. The upcoming Don't Fuck in the Woods 2. She's in that.
I'm excited about that.
I am excited. And she was also, we first knew her as a role as Heather in Pork Chop 2 and Pork Chop 3D.
No shit.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
So that's her connection. So that also means now that she is eligible for Horrible Horror Hall of Fame status, because this marks her her 4th or 5th appearance now.
Who is she in this?
She's Amber. She's in the opening. She's the bitchy girl in the opening.
Oh,
the head sorority girl.
The one with the teeth.
God damn, those fucking teeth.
Yeah, that's her. So only short. She's only in for a little bit, but she got almost top billing. I think they list them in order of appearance or something after Brinky, and
She put in the work.
she put the work in. Yeah. All right, so that's all we're going to talk about. Now we're going to get to the actual movie, the meat and potatoes, if you will.
The Christmas feast.
The Christmas feast. Yes.
Yes, that we will. I don't know, pick at.
Yeah, pick at. You're going to regret
Choke
that.
on.
You will regret.
Choke
eating.
on, yes.
Yeah.
Choke on is
choke on.
a very good way of putting it.
This movie, we open in the bathroom of the Delta Sigma Sigma sorority house. There's 3 active members are hazing the new pledge, Angela. Now, before right on the bat, I'm going on a little theory rant here, because I have a theory about these types of scenes in movies, because we see them all the time, those scenes that relate to hazing in fraternity and sorority life. And we see all the time, especially in the low budget movies, where the hazing is so over the top that it's ridiculous. And my theory is that the people who write these movies were never actually in.
So you were actually in a fraternity.
Yes.
So
yes.
out of all the people here at this table, all the 4 gentlemen here, you're the only. I'm assuming.
Yes.
Is the only one that's been in a fraternity. So you're going to be our resident expert.
Yeah, and honestly, I can't speak to every single fraternity ever out there what they do, but my experience when I was a freshman back in the 90s, late 90s, I got hazed. I'm not going to lie. I went through hazing, but I mean, the shit you see in movies like this that we're about to talk about, and other things like the Ookie Cookie and the Elephant Walk. Nobody does that shit. It's like this urban legends to kind of scare people. My theory is hey, at least we're not making you do the elephant walk, or hey, or at least we're not making you do this. It's
What's the elephant walk?
It's where, let's say, all of us, let's say the 4 of us in this room, we all strip down naked, bend over, you would grab my dick Eric would grab your dick and Nachos would grab his, and you walk around in a circle holding each other's dick through your legs.
So we're not doing that?
Yeah, we're not going to.
Well,
That
I'm
actually
out.
sounds like a pretty good time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds like a
But that's
new
the elephant-
Christmas ritual for
Yeah,
us.
that's the elephant walk.
It's like the he version of a daisy chain, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should do it just so you can have it for social media. So
Yeah,
we
we'll
gotta
put on,
understand
we'll
it.
put
You
it,
can
we'll take a video
demonstrate
of
what
that.
the
We'll
elephant
demonstrate
walk
that.
is.
That's for
But they always do these
members.
overtop things that nobody would ever actually
So
do.
what do they have this girl doing?
Well, okay, so we see, and it starts out with the three active standing over Angela, and Amber's the main actor, the main sorority girl, the head girl. And Angela's been stripped down to her bra and panties, and they're making her stick her head down into a toilet bowl and lick the toilet bowl water.
yeah, it looks like someone puked in it before too.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
it
something
looks a
like
little
that.
gross.
They
yeah.
straight up needed to clean that fucking toilet. That was gross.
Well, that's probably part of the thing. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to lick the water of the dirty toilet.
Yeah, these bitches are nasty.
Yeah.
So-
I was assuming it was pee. That's
Yeah, that's my guess, too, is pee.
Hey, pee sterile. It's fine.
But it's just like,
You can
again,
drink it.
nobody would do this shit ever. But Angela, she completes her task. She licks the toilet bowl water, and Amber, the head girl, tells her she has one more task to complete, and that all the sisters in the house must share their most intimate details with each other, and they have to make sure Angela's up to the task as well. So Hannah, one of the other actives, pulls out a big black dildo. Angela's eyes go wide in shock. Hannah tells Angela that she has 45 seconds to get started or she will fail. So basically they're telling her to fuck herself while we watch you masturbate with a big black dildo on the bathroom floor.
This thing is huge too.
it's
I've seen bigger.
it's not that big, buddy. No, just joking. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. But at the same time, when she goes, we share all of our secrets. You can't quite see what she's holding at first, and I'm like, is that a turd? You know, like, I couldn't quite tell what it was. I'm like, are they gonna make her eat poo? And why is she holding it so nonchalantly? But I just couldn't, and it doesn't make sense if you're like, we got to make sure you're gonna share your deepest, darkest secrets with us. That's like
That's
truth
not
or
really,
dare.
Yeah, that's not really sharing secrets. Like,
Yeah, that's just.
now the toy thing is over top. This, I still think is over top that makes somebody do it while somebody watches you. But in the early days, I could almost see where a pledge class would have to maybe share a dildo, like you use it and you use it and use it, but not at the same time and not like while somebody else's watches.
How do you get a yeast infection? There you go.
I'm not
College
saying
is
it
nasty.
happened, but I'm saying that's the
So-
one thing I could possibly, in extreme measures, kind of understand. But no one's gonna make them do it while they watch you do it on a bathroom floor.
I'm gonna share my deep, intimate secrets with you. It's called HPV.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Take
I mean, like,
this.
so again, it's ridiculous. But so after some
does it.
failed pleading and crying, Angela goes through with it and fucks herself with a dildo in the bathroom while Amber and the other two watch and call her a whore the whole time while she's doing it too.
Sweet.
So now time jumps forward to the house Christmas party, and the girls are all gathered around for the gift exchange. Amber gives Angela some more shit after opening her gift from Angela about, oh, your holiday card says Happy Holidays to Christmas. Were you one of those weird, stupid people? Blah, blah, blah. So Amber, it's confusing because Amber and Angela sound similar, but Amber, the bitch, tells Angela to open up her gift next. So Angela opens it and finds the black dildo from earlier in the gift. This causes Angela to cry, break down. She kind of runs out of the room.
Runs
all
upstairs
upset.
and has a cry session
Yeah.
for about.
It's like 2 minutes.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
cut later that night,
Yeah.
and Angela's sitting in her bed just crying in the dark. And
crying,
Yeah,
and
it goes,
crying.
we all agree, it goes on way too fucking long. Like, it just lingers on this shit. Just so long. Then we cut to Angela standing next to Amber's bed, holding the dildo in her hand while Angela sleeps, and Angela's looking all crazy.
I gotta say, she's got proper crazy eyes.
proper crazy. Yeah, she
she
does.
does a pretty good job of being nuts here.
Yes.
I've got to give you the actress credit there.
Oh, speaking of this actress, I forgot to mention her because but I wanted to. She does the voice because it's an Italian movie, but Angela does the voice of Zoe in the Italian-made fan film of Left 4 Dead.
Weird.
Yes. Anyway,
Obscure, but I like it.
I watched it actually. Amber,
It's a giallo, or like
No.
a giallo movie.
no. Amber wakes up. Angela jams the dildo down Amber's throat. Then mounts Amber and then just fucking stabs her to death with this giant kitchen knife.
I gotta call bullshit in this scene because like all Amber had to do was just deflect it with her teeth.
I don't.
Fucking giant ass horse teeth.
She straight up has some Rachel Ray teeth going on in her fucking head, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like those teeth have like blocked a few things in their day. Hockey pucks,
They probably open like
black
saloon
dildos.
doors.
Yeah.
At this point in the movie, I was like, okay, I'm on board. Like, she's really housing her with that fucking knife.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
bloody AF too.
It is
man.
gore.
Yeah.
There's blood flying everywhere. And by the time Angela's done, she looks like Carrie. It just got the blood
Yeah.
dumped on her. I mean, she's just covered
gotta-
in blood.
you gotta-
When she's screaming at the pillow. Oh, I did some stupid death names. If you guys
Give
were
me a
down.
death name for this one.
Death number 1, dildo to death, or double penetrated.
Ooh.
I didn't say
double
I didn't say-
penetration. I
Double
think.
penetrate. I like
Because she doesn't
that.
really get killed by the dildo, but double pen. Yeah, I like
Double
that.
penetrate is good.
So then after this is all done, Angela's covered in blood. We cut to Angela outside the sorority house, who now just kills herself by hanging herself from a tree branch outside the sorority house.
And then does the Running Man for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I was gonna.
she
She's like
twitches
legs,
a lot.
legs
But
are going.
I like it. I was like, it looked pretty like, oh,
It honestly
it
looked
got kind of
pretty
uncomfortable.
good.
Watch like, oh
That's
god,
what
she's
I'm
like,
saying. That
like she got
that was legit.
like that's like a legit hang, like the twitching. She didn't
Yeah.
just like die, just hang her. She like twitched for a long time. It was like, oh god,
I really want to set some like techno music to it though.
I couldn't stop laughing. We actually paused the movie because I'm like, it looks like that skit from SNL where like Chris Farley like gets lifted up and like he's swinging around. Like that's
yeah.
what it looked like to me. I couldn't stop laughing.
See, I thought the other way. I thought it was actually pretty decently done.
It looked alright. It actually looked good.
Yeah.
It actually looked for a low budget horror movie. That effect, that spot looked really good.
That's the death of the good kills right there. Because, fuck, dude.
So what do you got for that one?
I have, because it reminded me of like Matt Foley, the motivational speaker, you know, in a van down by the river, it's hanging out of a tree from a rope down by the river. I did not bring my A game on these. I apologize, guys.
It's all right. No, it's all right. You know, it's holidays. You know,
Yeah.
it's okay to be a little slack.
Yeah, I mean, come on. We're all resting, relaxing. Hey, it's all right.
We're Christmas hangover at this point. So.
Well, we were a little drunk last night when we started
Yeah.
the movie.
So now we roll the title card and the opening credits. Nothing special there. I do want to clarify this before we continue because the movie doesn't really do it for us at this point. But everything we just saw turns out to be a flashback.
Yes.
And it took place at the time. You think, okay, maybe a year or two ago, but because then the credits just jump to like the present day, and you get really it's way into the movie that you finally figure out, oh, this ends up happening like 10 years
10
ago.
years prior.
But they never tell you that in like this time jump. You're just like, what the fuck? But yeah, so now we go and meet our main girl Danielle and her boyfriend Kyle, and he's talking about about her decision to join the same sorority where her sister was murdered. At this point, she's already done that, so it's not like, hey, why are you gonna do this? No, she's already been a member for a while, and he's still complaining about it.
Straight up, this is the plot for Dubrow Party Massacre 3.
Yeah, very simple. Yeah, it really is.
But I'd rather watch that. A little late. Moving on.
Danielle is the younger sister of Amber, the bitchy head active in the flashback. Kyle leaves while Danielle finishes her shower. We cut down to the kitchen. Danielle enters to meet Kayla, who is making cookies. She's one of the sisters. They chit chat, and we learn that Danielle's boyfriend Kyle is Kayla's brother, so there's a connection there. And Kayla is a fucking Amazon compared to all the other girls in this
Yeah,
movie.
she is.
She is. I'm not saying she's fat, but she's just gigantic.
She's just big.
She's
She's tall.
big, tall, and thick, and just towers over everybody.
Sturdy.
Anybody
She's
else
30,
want
yeah.
to take a ride on that?
You know you're getting cookies afterwards.
Exactly.
Shit,
She's-
she might rock you to sleep. Like Coco Love Kitty kind of thing.
To quote Deuce Bigelow, that's a huge bitch.
So they talk a bit, and after their conversation, Danielle goes to lay down. She gets startled by the black girl outside of the black girl's room, which used to be Amber's room. So that was the room where Danielle's sister was murdered. After another short conversation about how Danielle is holding up to all this, they both go into their bedrooms, and Danielle tries to lay down to rest. And I will say at this point, at least in my opinion, Danielle's acting isn't so bad so far. Like the acting, I wasn't that.
Dude, it is a straight up roller coaster.
It's not. She's gonna work, but I'm like, okay, she's not too bad. I've seen a lot worse, and like for someone who has like no real experience, I'm like, okay, it's not gonna drive me nuts.
I agree. The acting is not horrible in this movie. I mean, it can be
I mean, it's not great,
choice.
but it's
Again,
not the worst we've seen.
It's not the worst, but
Did
they
we
are
watch different movies?
they are playing 20-somethings or early 20-somethings.
Yes.
And they are mostly early 20-somethings, so
Yes.
it's not too much of a stretch.
Dude, I don't know. Kyle, the boyfriend or whatever, that dude looked like he was fucking 48 or something. Or maybe that's his name? I don't know.
Kyle, the boyfriend, yeah.
Cheers.
Oh, we're cheering some Fireball right now.
Yeah, so this
Tis
is
the
my other
season.
Christmas present.
Okay.
So.
So anyway, again, another thing I'm just gonna rant about is like the movies always get a sorority house thing wrong, just because there's no like she's a freshman, all right. So Danielle's a freshman who just joined the house, and as a new member of the house, she would not have a room all to herself, and let alone a king size bed in her room.
That's a question I have.
That's the shit that drives me insane in all these movies where you see fraternity and sorority houses. Like, you don't know.
And this is where your expertise comes in.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been in a fraternity. I've been in a sorority house, and it's like a giant, like big giant place. Huge. It's not just like a big house. It's like a dorm-esque type of setting.
size. Well, yeah.
Yeah, size-wise, and it's this just looks like a big house. Do they?
It's not even a big house. It's basically like a ranch. It's like just a ranch style.
No,
Like
they
a
have it. They
not
have
a ranch,
two
but it's a
floors,
2-story, basically just a suburban house.
A
which
bungalow.
Yeah, I mean,
You're a fucking
do
bungalow.
sororities or fraternities have
now
small little extra
they
houses?
can. Yeah, like okay, like it depends on the school too. Like your bigger state, your big rich schools, they're gonna have big giant sorority rows, fraternity, Greek row homes. We're all gonna have these giant massive homes. But even inside those homes, they're not gonna have individual bedrooms. They're still gonna have like bunk beds or 2 to 3 beds to a room to maximize occupancy to get everybody in there. No one's gonna have, except for maybe the president. The president of the house may have a single room.
It's good to be the
Because that was in
president.
my house. The president had a room to himself, and he had a solo room no matter what. And he, you might argue it depending, you might have a bigger bed, but even that he didn't have. He still had the same size beds as everybody else. He just had a room to himself. Now you could have a house off campus, which some like at one point years ago, my fraternity had a house off campus, and it wasn't like this. It was like a 2-3 story home. And it was still, but that was way before my time. That was back in like the 50s or something like
Jesus.
that. But most homes on campus are, and like in the ones that were on campus, they looked kind of like dorm, but they were homes. Like they had, you walk in, there'd be like a living room, lounge area, a foyer where everybody would hang out, or nice,
So this is
nice
this
couches,
is a little off base.
fireplace, piano, whatever. And then you go to the room, it was just like a dorm, like a hallway lined with doors all the way down. There'd be a kitchen and maybe a basement, a laundry room or something like that. But otherwise, it's still just basically a kind of a dorm, unless you have an actual mega house. But even most fraternities aren't living in these mansions you see in like these big blockbuster movies that try to portray fraternities and sororities living in like these $1 million homes, unless it's like some mega school has like super rich backers. But most of the time,
Not small town Texas.
90% of your time, they're not.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
The director could have watched Monsters University and saved him some time.
Yeah.
That sorority house had 3 fucking rooms. There you go.
Right?
It really did, didn't it?
Yep.
So anyway, that's my rant. So moving on. Danielle's computer dings, notifying she has a new email, and she gets up to read it, and it's from Mrs. Claus 2005. Which, if that's supposed to be a year, like that throws off the timeline because
That was 13, not 10.
that's 13 years ago. If that's supposed to relate to the original merge, but anyway,
Unless it was filmed in 2015,
Yeah.
and then like, okay, now let's put it out
2005.
there.
Yeah. who
Shelf
knows?
this shit.
So the email reads, "'Twas the week before Christmas, and all through the house, sorority sisters were jovial and delighted, but they were about to be roused. Blood was festively shed 10 years ago today, and for you slutty vile bitches, will pay. Don't take this as a joke or that you are being played, because you each are going to meet the sharp edge of my blade." That's the email.
We should like throw a beat in the background and kind of freestyle that shit.
Danielle shows the email to the black girl, who of course plays it off as nothing to worry about because duh, it's Christmas time, and that's the famous time where everybody plays pranks and jokes on each
That's
other.
when everyone likes to fuck with each other's emotions.
Yeah,
I don't want a Christmas card. I want a fucking death threat.
yeah.
I want to remind you of your probably most painful emotional experience.
Remember that time your sister died? Ta-da!
Merry Christmas.
Not just that, but was horribly, brutally murdered in this very house. Yeah, there you
Murder
go.
suicide. There you go.
Now we cut to another couple. They're naked, or nearly naked, making out in a bed. This is where we meet Grant as he fucks this blonde girl who has some really nice tits, and she's tattooed up. And
I mean,
she's,
heroin Barbie.
yeah, I thought Heroin Barbie was hot. I don't care. I like Heroin Barbie.
I like heroin Barbie because she'll do anything for $20.
Yeah,
Hey man, $20 is $20.
$20 to make you hollow.
I was gonna say this chick looks like Amy Winehouse, but like the Kmart version. So
Oh no,
Yes.
Amy,
this girl's hotter than Amy Winehouse.
Amy Boone's Farm.
Well, she's.
With that tramp stamp that goes all the way up.
All the way around too. It's like a tramp belt. It goes all the way around.
She's like the in boss of tramp stamps. You gotta
As a
defeat
tramp
her
stamp
underneath.
expert, I could say that was a solid piece of artwork.
As the only
I
man
liked her. I thought she was hot.
Hey, real talk, she's the only chick that shows tits. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
she is.
yeah.
This is the only boobs you're gonna get in the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
This
Don't
is
get
true.
me wrong. She's like that dirty hot. Like last drinks at Pops. You know, you've done. You're like,
I still
like
think
white
so.
trash hot.
I still think so.
peeling your eyes open. You're like, oh my god, look at that beautiful beast.
I disagree with all of you. I disagree with all of that. But anyway, so it turns out she turned out to be a member of Danielle's sorority too. Her name's Sophie, and that she's planning on skipping the big Christmas party tonight. She's leaving tonight to drive home, and she's skipping the party. I did notice on the wall in the background of this set is a small movie poster for Party Night, which
Yes,
is Troy
yes.
Escamillo's other movie. So you've seen that
too.
a lot.
I saw that and I was like, I wonder if that's another one of the guy's movies.
Yep.
Sure enough, dang.
So the hot blonde girl, at least I call her the hot blonde girl. Sophie.
Oh, she's not bad. She's not
She
bad.
gets dressed, she leaves, and she gets a text message after she leaves that reads, "You won't be going home for Christmas." So we get more of this shit going on. Back at the house, Kayla puts the finishing touches on the Christmas tree. In comes Sophie, the hot blonde, and she goes straight upstairs to pack her bag so she can get on the road. Now we cut to Sophie getting in her car, but before she can start the car, a person wearing a Mrs. Claus dress, a Santa hat, and what I can only describe as a weird-ass zombie mask pops up from the back seat and strangles Sophie with a string of Christmas lights, killing her.
Did you guys ever see this movie called Halloween? Where they rip off. They do 3 backseat kills in this fucking movie.
Oh
Yeah,
right.
they do too many. They go back to this too much.
I mean, at least they stopped at 3.
Yeah, well,
God damn, you got a name for this one?
Oh,
not only does he just kill her, strangle her, like these Christmas lights, which I don't buy this part, but it slices her neck open so much that she's just gushing blood.
It's like she's got a piano wire
yeah,
Christmas
it's like
light.
it's like a
she got
garrote or something,
Yeah,
garrote,
yeah,
or garrote
yeah.
or something like that, being the piano wire strangle. Now, like, it looks good. The blood effects are great, but I'm like, it's a Christmas light. They're like
Yeah.
covered. The ones are covered like a soft plastic. There's no way you're gonna
Right,
rip
right.
on someone's neck
These
with
things
that
that are
shit.
handled by small children year round. And
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, I cut my fucking fingers off a Christmas light.
It's not like she's Luca Brasi
I
from
mean,
the
in fact,
Godfather.
it looks
You know?
great, but it would never happen. And Nachos, what you say? What you had a name for
I
this
got
one?
death number 3. This chick needs to lighten up.
Ah,
Yuck, yuck,
Da-da-da.
yuck.
yuck. Meanwhile, in the house, Kayla and another girl who just now there's another girl sitting on the couch reading. The doorbell rings. Kayla answers the door, and it's Mrs. Werner, who introduces herself as Angela's mother, and she's the mother of the girl who committed suicide and murdered Angela. Kayla says that she thought Angela killed herself, and hearing this, Mr. Werner gets upset. He's like, "No, she was murdered." And
She was murdered because of all that hazing she had to go through.
Yeah.
That's what killed her.
It pushed her to murder. You know.
This threw off the pace for me because I'm getting confused as to who's the sister of the
Yes.
Amber,
Yeah.
and then like who's Angela's relative.
Yes, it gets confusing.
It was
It
fucking
really
me up.
does. Like you can't get confused as who's related to who, and it talking the way, and then having the mother tell from a different perspective,
Right.
It kind of throws off like, oh well, okay, because the movie it's this way, this way, this way, this way, and then the mother comes in and says, no, now it's this way.
No, she got
it's like-
murdered. Like, wait, hold on.
wait, what? And it doesn't help that Angela and Amber are so similar. Like, it was like Angela and Becky or
Right.
something like that. But having 2 A names, it's so it gets confusing. It can get very
probably would have
confusing.
behooved them to choose different,
Right,
names
I
that
just
weren't so
numbered
similar.
them. That's what I did. I just numbered them.
That's pretty good. Yeah. And
Bitch
you know what
number
also
4.
kind of throws in a little bit of mixed little oddness too is that Josh, the boyfriend of our main girl,
Kyle?
Pardon me, Kyle. I said Josh. No, Kyle. He is
That dude with the fucking zit on his nose or whatever the whole
yes,
movie?
yes.
That's a honker.
he's dating our main girl and also sisters to the brother and
Yes.
sister with the Amazon.
Yes.
So that throws more family
Yeah.
confusion into everything.
Yeah, it really is. There's too much of that. I agree. Anyway, Mrs. Warner asks if Danielle is really living here and insists on seeing her, saying that she wants closure for Angela's death, which is weird. Like, why would the younger sister?
I tell that chick to hit the fucking brick.
Yeah,
man.
it's just like it's like the younger. If this is the case, this happened 10 years ago. That means Danielle would have been like 8. You would have been like 8 years old, and like, how are you gonna go like think anything an 8-year-old had to give you closure on your daughter's death 10 years ago? Like, she wasn't even there. She was like at home with her mommy and daddy somewhere while Amber was getting killed.
Right.
Like, it's just a weird premise. That's a bit of a stretch.
Kind of like that part in Hot Tub Time Machine when he calls his wife up and she's like 8. It's like, bitch, you're gonna fucking cheat on me. Shit like
Suck his
that.
dick. I know you sucked his dick.
Dude, I forgot about that. Also a Christmas movie.
Shit, you ain't wrong, man.
I'd have slammed the door on that. Look, you dusty old bitch.
Yeah.
Make like a booby and bounce.
Yeah.
I mean, the fucking straight up Amazon should have just picked her up and put her out the fucking
Yeah, no
front
shit.
door.
Exactly, because Mrs. Warner is like a twig.
Frail.
She is a tiny little woman. Like, if you want a size, you know what she kind of reminds me of is Angela Kinsley from The Office. Remember Angela, the blonde?
Yes.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
about how small and
Yes.
tiny. That's about the size of this character. She is so small, so skinny.
She's a little pocket rocket.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
I was gonna say Mr. Burns, but yours makes way more sense.
So basically, Danielle ends up coming down saying, hey, the doorbell worked. I came down and see it. And Mrs. Warner just lays into Danielle about her sister being evil and the house is forever cursed now. And then Danielle fires back like, your daughter murdered my sister. And they blah, blah, blah. And Mrs. Warner goes and says, Danielle living in this house is a slap in the face of her dead daughter. And it says Danielle is just like her sister, evil and horrible. And before Mrs. Warner leaves, she tells Danielle that she prays that this Christmas fills Danielle with anguish. And then she leaves.
Old girl kind of had like a Dr. Loomis Halloween 4 tangent going on there for a second.
I stabbed her 6 times. I didn't.
He's pure evil.
Yes. So later that night, now we skip later that night, and we see Danielle replying to the email that she got earlier, and she writes back saying, I know this is you, Mrs. Warner. Leave me alone. And in restraining order again, question mark.
What's with the fucking Christmas bow like on the top of the laptop? It's like, was this a present?
It
that
was
you got?
obviously a present, Jeff. Duh.
Or she just decorated. I'm going to put a little bow on my laptop.
Right?
It's bothering me.
I was about to say, this bothered you. I didn't even notice it. And I'm like,
Getting
"Man,
pretty
shit."
upset.
And she left the fucking door open, too.
Jeff's getting upset.
Her Danielle's phone rings. It's Kyle calling to check on her, make sure she's okay. And I know. Okay, so because I know I'm going to talk about it later. I want to try to talk about it here before I forget. But we've now this is like the second or third time in the movie, and we're only like 20 minutes in. But they keep bringing it up like 4 more times. But they always bring up Danielle, why would you join the house if your sister was murdered? Danielle, are you okay? Why do you do it comes up so Dude, enough.
They beat you about the head and shoulders with this so much.
The first 2 times, okay, I get it, it's fine, explain it, then be done with it. But they keep bringing it up. It's like they ran out of things to write about. We don't have somebody else ask why Daniel joined the house.
Let's
why?
bring the origin story back
almost
for the
every
7th
single
time.
character you meet asks Danielle, why did you join this house? What's about your sister? Blah, blah, blah. It's like
higher education.
Oh, you know what my favorite thing to talk about is? My dead sister. My grandpa was a Nazi sympathizer too. You want to bring that up?
And you know what the problem is? This is okay, she's a freshman. She's a new member of fraternity or sorority. Fine. But you know what? Those are questions you would ask during a rush time back in September, October. This is now Christmas.
Marshall dropping knowledge.
Every member of the sorority house would know this shit already. It would be done and dealt with. They would hey, why you want to join this house? And then back in October, they asked that, and she's like, well, I want to do this. And oh, okay, makes sense. All right, we're done. Let's move on. They're not
to honor my dead sister.
Bringing it up all the time. It just drives. It's so repetitive.
Maybe they're just
in this movie.
assholes. That's
Maybe.
what it is. Let's get this chick bent out of shape.
You know what they're not? Good actors.
That freshman bitch got a room all by herself with a king-size bed. Yeah, we're going to fucking raise her.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. She's also the only new member of this sorority, too.
They probably...
there's no other... Everybody else is active members, been there a while. She's the only freshman in this entire sorority.
They probably isolated her so they don't have to hear that fucking story again. Just like, just send her off to her room.
They gave her own room. She's like, yeah, your sister got killed. Fine, just take the big room.
Is it the room your sister got killed in? No, don't tell her.
So the next day, Kayla and Kyle, another too much, yeah. So Kayla answers the house phone, and on the other side, it's Sophie's mother wanting to know, like, hey, Sophie, did she leave? She never came home last night. Is she still there?
Heroin Barbie.
Yeah.
See how little that phone looks in her fucking ham hock hand?
It's like frantically pound the button
Like,
with your giant finger.
When she puts it down, it just breaks and like,
It's
fucking
like King
Kayla
Kong
answered the
trying to
phone
open
again.
a
I gotta pull like
regular-sized
another
banana
one.
or something.
She's got Catcherman hands.
Also, that phone made an old-style rotary
Yes,
phone noise.
yes, it did. Yes, it did. It sounded like my phone from my grandparents' house that they've had since the 40s.
I mean, I don't want to be that dude, but I'm being that fucking dude.
I noticed it too. I'm with you.
So anyway, thank you. I need my fuel.
Your brain
There it
tonic.
is. Kayla says, like, no, she left for the house last night, blah, blah, blah. In comes the black girl. They talk about the Christmas party tonight and that most people already left for camp, so there's not going to be a whole lot of people coming.
I feel kind of bad because we give everyone else's names and then it's like the black girl.
Well,
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
we
it's
know who she
because
is.
I didn't get her name till about 50 minutes into the movie. So as I'm taking my notes, all I can do is the black girl. Eventually I get to her name, but for now, that's all I knew her as.
That's so bad.
But they don't say her name. Everybody's like, hi, Kayla. Hi, Kyle. The black girl's like, what's up? They never say her name.
What's up, bitch?
They do write her dialogue when she walks in her room and she's talking. She's like, "Hey, girl." It's like, is this movie written by a white dude? Because anyway.
Well, until we learn her name, I'm just gonna call her Juicy.
Juicy.
So now we what? Jesus Christ. So now we cut to Brinky Stevens, aka Security Officer Julie Cornell. And
Dude.
she's in her patrol car talking over the radio, getting a report that Sophie's mom has called the security office saying that Sophie hasn't come home yet. Now, I mentioned this later in my notes, but I'm going to say it now. Brinky Stevens, to me, in this movie, just seems seems so tired and beaten down that she just doesn't give a fuck.
Just uninterested in what she's
Just
doing.
completely no interest in what she's
Brinky
just like.
Stevens.
She
best-
should be the best actress in this. She's the most experienced, but she's like the worst.
Yeah.
In my opinion, she is the worst in this movie because she's like, yeah, okay, they're not home. And she's so just dead.
Dude, she's
dead
phoning
inside.
it in from long fucking distance. We're talking from up in the North Pole.
Yeah.
Phoning it in. You know, I mean, and her best days are behind her, obviously,
Yeah.
but just put a little fucking effort into
Yeah,
it.
it's just like,
Jesus.
A paycheck?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Her hair looked like
Mama's
fucking
gotta
ramen
eat.
noodle. Like somebody spray painted black. That's what her hair looked like.
Yeah, her hair's getting real string. I mean, she's getting older, but still, like,
Just
man,
get a
put a
good
little
wig.
bit of effort in this thing, man.
Debbie Rochon
yeah,
in Killer Rack
Yeah.
was older and past her quote-unquote prime.
Yeah.
But she fucking nailed it. And
yeah,
she was so good.
Yeah, she was. That was probably the best movie I've seen her and that we've done.
And
this
then
show.
we have someone who we've seen in Slumber Party Massacre and seen Sorority Babes and Slime Ball Ramen knock it out of the park, and she's just dead.
She's just dead inside in this movie.
Deadpan.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't know.
So-
the Quigs is looking a little rough too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I gotta give Quiggs credit for not going the plastic surgery route because she's like, fuck it, this is who I am. I'm almost 70 now.
I still
Both-
got fake tits, but
Lania and Brinky are looking rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're old, but man, they're looking rough.
we should look so good.
Yeah, that's a good point considering
I'll get that boob job I've always been talking about.
I think I brought about a gallon of Fireball here in like individual shots.
Let's get some truth serum out.
So we go back to the house where some girl, who I think is the same girl, that random girl that was sitting on the couch with Kayla earlier, she just sits on the couch by herself, and she gets a text message that reads, "Be careful, there's a creature stirring. All I want for Christmas is to see your face as I slice into you." And instead of like, holy fuck, what the shit? She gets up, goes over to the Christmas tree for some reason, like, oh, I'm gonna go look at the Christmas tree. And she finds that there's a strand of bloody hair hanging off the tree.
That was kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, I'll give him that. Like, that's
was
unique.
that Heroin Barbie's hair?
Yeah, it was blonde. It was blonde. Yeah, it had to be. So she backs away from the tree and bumps into Mrs. Claus, who stabs the girl in the stomach with a machete. The girl falls over and
Machete.
dies in a very large pool of
So
blood.
much blood.
Dude, so
So
much
much
blood.
Which I loved it because most of the time I was
Yeah.
like, there's not enough blood, but this is holy shit. because there was a big stab wound, and but
pussy.
the blood effects, they did not skimp on the blood.
No,
effects
they
in this
didn't,
movie.
and I got to give them credit for that too. That's the one strong. That's like one of their positives.
Yes.
Accentuate the positives. We got tons of blood.
Tons of blood, fucking use it.
buckets of it.
However, that said, all that blood. Because remember, this whole movie is the premise is like this killer is going around killing these women one by one with nobody noticing.
Stealthily, yes.
Stealthily. But this bitch dies on a carpet, pouring a gallon of blood out. There's no fucking way that killer would be able to get that blood cleaned up out of that carpet in time that nobody would see.
She gets one of those Roto-Rooter
Yeah,
starts.
she had a fucking
I would love to see just a
shampoo.
sign, a quick cover, just like with like a carpet cleaner trying to scrub that
Shampoo.
shit
They
out.
walk in and she's fucking just
That
oh my
carpet
God.
is not salvageable. You would have to rip that shit out, cut it out, and throw it away.
Right.
There's no way that blood stain disappearing before anybody else gets home and sees
Put
that.
some presents out a
Yeah,
little
just move the
farther.
Christmas tree over, kind of put a rug on top
there
of
you
it.
go. You're
That's the
fine.
only thing you can do.
It's a
fine.
guy that bleeds on a lot of carpet. Let me tell you, you need that fucking Roto-Rooter. I have the Roto-Rooter. Clearly, that's what you fucking need. Death number 4: seasons bleedings.
Yes.
I love all the blood, but man, that murder weapon, like as soon as you see it, like get the shot of it, I'm like, that is
Straight up,
clearly a
that's
fucking
Johnny
rubber
Rocks.
fucking
Yeah.
machete.
I have that
We've
machete.
seen, yeah, it's a fake looking machete, but I gave it a little, just the tiniest bit of slack because it's not the worst fake looking machete we've seen. Those go to the butcher knife and machete from Friday 13th, episode like 3 or something like that.
Friday
Night of the
13th,
Dead.
Night of the Dead. Yeah.
Where it was basically just giant plastic looking thing that you could buy like a Kmart.
This
or
is what you
Target.
buy like CVS or the
Oh,
gas
fuck.
station
Yeah,
if they
alright.
have them.
Yeah, it's that kind.
You know,
like I had one of those in my garage. Like at the time we recorded. Like, oh, I had that when I was like 8 years old. One of these plastic, completely plastic things. This one look somewhat better. So I'm like, okay, it's fake, but I'll give them slack because it's not.
I have this
obviously
fucking
plastic.
foam. I have this exact same one in the corner of my basement. Like we were talking about it.
Right.
Yeah,
It's from
and so I'm
my
like,
leftover-
whatever.
It's from my leftover Chad costume when I saw you dudes at fucking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Con,
Your Chad
Canonation.
and your girls' AJ costumes were on point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Loved them.
I made that battery.
I still have those pictures actually myself. I was going through, I cleaned out all my pictures on my cell phone a while back.
this
I
fucking-
came to like, hey, there they are. I still have that picture.
loser and dumb bitch?
That's a great costume, man.
We will post those on Instagram. I think we already did, but we'll post them
might have.
again.
I'm down.
So where were we? The girl dies and the camera cuts to a shot of a stocking hanging on the wall named Madison on it. So I'm guessing the girl's name is Madison. And not that it fucking matters at this point.
This is
so.
like a theme throughout the movie.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah,
but
but
this is where it first started
they do
becoming a
that?
thing.
But I didn't get it until the very last. I was like, oh, I guess that was.
That's kind
I
of
guess.
Yeah.
clever.
But
yeah,
they
like
didn't-
every
it-
time somebody killed, they show the stocking with that person's name on it.
But Nachos, you just said you now realize it, so it can't be that clever
These
if you
gears are
missed it.
still fucking spinning.
He's not real smart though.
And I didn't.
so-
Hey, I went to
How dare you.
Collinsville.
I didn't get it until the very last. I was like, oh, it was a thing. Okay. Yeah.
So now we cut to this guy named Tyler.
Jesus.
to Tyler, who I fucking hate Tyler, sitting alone and recording his podcast, and he's talking about the murder, suicide, and hazing, and he's just being a real fucking party pooper,
Dude
a
is
real Debbie Downer.
Saltier than a mummy's twat.
Yeah,
dude.
this guy
He fucking
sucks.
sucks.
And that's it. That's the scene.
I called him PC Wokenstein.
I have Tyler as woke as fuck.
So we go back to the sorority house. Danielle and the black girl sit on the couch while Kyle is hanging some decorations. In comes Kayla complaining about how Madison still isn't here, so she's missing now.
I love this scene because they reference that Kayla is Kyle's little sister. Yeah, okay.
She towers over him.
Clearly,
Kyle.
she's adopted, or like her spaceship crashed outside and they raised her as a human.
Or she got exposed a little too much.
I had snoo. If anybody
Death
gets
by
that
snoo.
The gamma radiation, a little too much.
That's why they don't show her boyfriend, because he's in the fucking hospital because his pelvis is like fucking all bandaged up. He's just like, yeah.
So in comes Grant now, who we met earlier, Sophie's bang buddy. Jake, the black guy, and some other girl who, as Nacho
This bitch.
as Nacho so eloquently described her as the girl with the potato head that they grew lips on, or drew lips on.
It looks like she headbutted a belt sander. Her face looks like a fucking ransom note.
What?
I think you said a sock full of mashed potatoes also.
Somebody drew. Either or, man, it's good.
It's even better when she talks later.
Dude. Oh fuck.
So-
sorry. Oh, fuck.
Wow. I'm not even that rough. There's been times in the past I was talking about some girl like being horse faced. I think it was in No Mercy. It was like this whole horse faced girl, big deal. And Aaron's like, "Damn, dude, chill out, come on." She's like, "Man," and like you guys are way harsher than Aaron's like,
Oh, I'm
"Let it
savage
go,
as
rip
fuck.
it up."
I have her as Lady Lump Face.
Jesus Christ.
She looks like what Jason Voorhees would look like if he actually grew up without drowning in the lake.
Yeah.
It's like symmetry is not a thing.
Oh
Jesus
man, I thank
Christ.
God Christmas is over because we'd all be getting fucking
Who
lumps
was
of
your
coal.
dad, Picasso?
Oh, fucking. And Tyler. PC Wakenstein, as they're called.
PC
such a
Wakenstein.
fucking
Wokenstein.
Yeah.
boner.
He comes in, which, oh, God. He's, again, this is the type of guy, like, why would he be here? Like,
To
he's
fuck
so
up your day.
he's like so anti everything these girls are. Like, anti sorority, anti this. Why would they be friends with him?
Well,
Why would he be there in the
only-
first place
they
if he
kind of-
doesn't like sororities?
They kind of explain it like he's friends with the again, we don't know her name, the black chick.
Juicy.
Juicy, yes. He's tight with Juicy.
But still, you can be friends with like, listen, I don't like sorority. Like, that's just weird. Like, I hate this guy. Anyway, so they sit around
Straight
talking
up,
about
this
the
dude's
party.
garbage.
And of course, the conversation ends up being about going back to the murder suicide. And Danielle again, like, why are you here? Why'd you do this? And Danielle's like, gets a little upset because I agree. Like, and it makes sense. She's like getting sick and tired of talking about it. She's like, guys, I'm fine. You want me to talk about it one more time? Fine, I will. Here we go. One last time. Leave me alone. You know, like,
Last time.
and it just keeps going.
But it keeps going. It keeps going.
and going.
Did we miss the part where the the lady officer shows up?
No, we haven't got there yet.
Oh shit. Okay.
Tyler now gets on his high horse, throwing shade and talking shit about fraternities and sororities and how horrible they are and how everything sucks and he's just being a real fucking
Y'all ain't PC or woke.
yeah. I hate this fucker so much. Now in comes Brinky Stevens doing the rounds.
Officer Snoopy Tits.
Yes,
That's what they call her, dude.
yes, that's what Grant calls her. Want to know if any of them have seen Sophie and
I do kinda like that.
and if she's
it's
gotten
solid.
home yet.
Doing the rounds, like she just comes in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she doesn't knock on the door. She just walks in.
She walks in and she says, "Breaking and entering."
Anybody home? The front door was open.
So, Brinky tells them they should all just forget about the party tonight and that she's going to make sure no one else attends the party and that she ought to stay close for further questions. So she's putting a lockdown down, say, no one else is coming. I'm not going to let anybody come here. You're all staying here in case we have more questions for
Bitch,
you.
you're a rent-a-cop.
Exactly. You're a fucking security officer.
What's your bad made of fucking cardboard?
Yeah.
That's Officer Buzzkill. Jeez.
Brinky leaves, and then they kind of the college guys kind of argue a little bit over what to do. Like, do we stay? Do we party? Do we drink? What blah,
And
blah,
they
blah.
basically say, "Fuck it, she's a rent-a-cop.
Yeah.
Let's party."
Exactly.
Jake's like, the booze is here, the food's here,
all
I'm
of
chilling.
all of the 3 beers are here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all 3 of the beers.
And who's this chick fucking flexing on me like she's got a badge?
But of course, Tyler, Mr. Buzzkill, shit pants, he wants to leave because he wants nothing to do with any of this.
Man, good time.
And so he leaves, and the black girl goes outside with him. Danielle and Kyle at this point go up to Danielle's room, and she gives him his present, which is a watch. And then she tells him that tomorrow morning she's leaving for home, so she's gonna leave tomorrow morning as
She's
well.
giving him the ghost. She's taking off in the morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we cut to Tyler and the black girl outside, sitting on a bench. They talk, and he gets more anti-sorority, more bitchy, and
God, he's such a rabble.
as they talk, we can tell that she has a crush on Tyler, and she leans in to kiss him, and then we find out that Tyler is gay.
Yeah, he gets the kiss. It's like,
No.
you know I'm gay, right?
Yeah.
Tyler's gay?
Tyler's gay.
Holy
I
shit.
mean, he looks like he's seen one up close.
He does. He does.
Looks like he's caught a few in the eye.
So, and this is where I have in my notes, 48 minutes, I looked at the times, 48 minutes in the movie, we finally learned the black girl's name is Monica.
Oh,
That's when first time they say her name is 48 minutes into the movie. So, Juicy Monica.
did she take some obvious pills or something? Like, oh. Anyway.
So they talk more before Monica gets up and goes back inside, leaving Taylor alone on the bench. He's sitting there by himself and he hears the sounds like twigs breaking behind him. He looks around, sees nothing. And that's, of course, when up pops Mrs. Claus with a giant candy cane. She grabs Tyler by the head, pulls his head back, and then basically jams the candy cane down his throat. So he's deep throating this candy cane, pulls out her machete and slits his throat, killing Tyler. And I'm like, thank God he's dead.
The throat slit doesn't look bad.
Again,
This is actually a pretty good death
really
scene.
good. It's pretty good.
I like this one.
It's
a
a
lot.
good death scene.
Yeah, it really is. Now, I thought it was kind of weird that he started monologuing like notes
Yeah.
to
Right,
himself
What
prior
will
to the
she
death.
be on my podcast?
Yeah, he
about?
puts like little earbuds and pulls
Yeah,
out like
and
his
it's like-
cell phone. Starts like his old reporter, like, "Why, Monica? Well, I'll have you on my podcast. What should we talk about?
Yeah,
What
but then he
cum
starts
tastes
guys
like.
you
he,
like?
he starts getting devious. It's like
Yeah.
he's like, what a dick. It's like this girl's trying to like she likes him. She's trying to like yeah, you're gay, fine, but still, it's someone who likes you for you as well. And you think he'd have some sort of emotional
And she
attachment to
says,
her.
"I listen to your podcast."
Yeah.
She's probably the only listener that fucker
Right.
has.
And we value listeners.
Yes, we do.
If you listen,
We have like 5.
we've already talked about it. We'll give you over the clothes stuff.
Yes.
If we get
will
drunk
admit,
enough.
I will give you over the pants hand jobs.
So the fact that after she leaves, like,
Noted.
why don't you be on my podcast? Should we talk about what kind of guys you like, or maybe how your sorority's evil? It's like he's getting into this. He's already like plotting, like tearing her down.
He's gonna start wringing his hands.
know?
Yeah, and this is a movie that
Yeah. He's totally wringing his hands. Like
It's supposed to be his friend, and she's like,
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
frenemy.
Why is he here? Nobody likes him.
Even the one friend he has, he's gonna stab her in
Because
the
he's like
back.
catty gay bitch.
Even
I know
get
catty gay
invited to
bitches, and
parties.
catty gay bitches are a lot more honorable than this motherfucker.
All right, what do you think the name of this podcast is? I didn't catch it.
PC Wolkenstein.
I was gonna say salty
Magical
as fuck.
Mystery Hour. I don't know. What name do you have for the death?
Death number 5. Tyler straight up takes it to the base. There you go. That's I was like Candy Cannon, Pepper Demented. Ooh, shit. No,
he
let it go.
did take it pretty deep.
Dude,
Yeah.
all the way down.
Yeah.
All the
Deep
way
cake,
down.
yeah.
To the bend. The bend of the candy
got
cane.
it.
So we rejoin Juicy Monica in the kitchen, drinking a beer and talking to herself. In comes Jake and Potato Girl, and they tell her that they're going outside, and they end up going out into the garage to hang out. Inside, Kayla, Grant, and Monica hang out in the living room, drinking, talking. Well, in the garage, Jake and Potato Face are smoking weed. Now, I literally don't. This other girl's name, we're gonna call her because I never get her name ever. I never have no idea who she is.
I also have her as Goblin Lady.
Goblin Lady's pretty good.
So-
Nilbog.
Lumpenstein. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
This bitch knows she wakes up every day, looks in the mirror like, this train wreck is leaving this house.
Train wreck's leaving the station.
All aboard.
God damn it.
She's like, is this the day I end it all?
But it
No,
gets
I'll
even
go-
better when they're smoking weed and she starts to talk and it's
I
like,
hope.
what's
Like,
in
I
there?
want
Helium?
listeners, but I hope she never hears this podcast because god damn, she's gonna pull a fucking Angela after listening to this.
Hey, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
God damn it.
She looks like she opens doors with her face.
Oh fuck. So we cut to Kyle and Danielle back in Danielle's room. They've just finished having sex, and they head back downstairs to join the others, and then jump back to Jake and Potato Face, who are now high.
Oh my god.
She tries kissing Jake, but he stops. He's like, "Hey, I just want to be friends. We're his friends."
Hey,
There's
that
a
was-
reason for that.
But he pulls out a joint. He's like, "Hey, here you go. Let's cheer you up." He pulls a joint on Officer
He
joint.
does say that was just a one-time thing. So apparently they've hooked up before,
Yeah.
and he's like, oh. He's already like tested the water. He's like, nope, not jumping in that pool again.
Yeah, I've already sampled that soup and I can see your best feature.
So like he goes on this fucking tirade like I got this joint from a sewer. This is what happens when you let like a fucking comedy trope dude just fucking ad-lib.
improv.
Yeah.
That goes on for
Way too
fucking
long.
6 minutes.
We're gonna
I'm
come
sorry,
back to
Marshall.
the.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's fine. We're coming back to this weed stuff in a bit. So we go back to the others. Kaylee decides to play some music. Let's light up the party. So I'm gonna play some
fuck.
music. So she pulls out her phone and plays. What better thing to get a party hyped music? Wow, some classic Christmas music.
Hark the Herald.
How about "Hark the Herald Angels Sing"?
Yes.
that will get the party jumping.
My god.
Jumping. No. So I'm like, I'm like, are you fucking crazy? And Grant does give her shit for that, rightfully so.
Can you get some Christmas in Hollis or something like that?
Right,
please?
some Run DMC.
Yeah.
up
Yeah,
here.
Bring me fucking Clownvis. Don't be a bitch
some
or you won't
James
get
Brown
stuff for
Christmas.
Fuck
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Jake and Potato Face continue smoking weed in the garage.
This
Now,
is facts.
we're going to talk about this because we may have different opinions on this, Nachos. I don't know. But I wanted to say, unlike, in my opinion, so many of the other movies we've done this show, I thought this one actually did a decent job of portraying two weed smoking people. In the fact
Shit,
that
dude.
it's to me,
Yeah.
it was very believable that there's the weed smoking scene because their high was not the crazy over top hallucinogenic trip that is so commonly portrayed in so many other movies where they smoke weed. Like now there's something like seeing aliens. Like it's like they're instead of weed they're doing like acid or LSD, but it's just weed. This one they're just sitting there smoking,
Like Freddy's
chilling.
dead.
Yeah, they're just chilling, smoking. They're giggling a little bit here and there and talking. And they do talk about, you think Santa smokes weed? And like a little weird stuff. But I'm okay with it. Like, this isn't that bad of a weed
I'm
scene.
okay with it because it is stoner talk, but it's still, they're lame. So it's
lame.
lame.
My
Yeah,
God.
It is
it's
lame, but in fact, like, I'm glad it was so low
But
key. And now,
there
like,
are lame
woo!
people out there who
Yeah.
will do talk like that. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going back inside because, bitch, this is not a fun conversation.
But I was
Where's
just, I was
Juicy
just,
Monica?
I'm saying, I'm just glad it wasn't a over topic. Oh my God, I'm seeing
Right,
lights, or I'm
right.
seeing Jesus, or some crazy shit that we
Yeah.
see so many times.
I
before.
agree with you there because
That's a good point.
we've all seen horror movies, so
Right.
many horror movies where they just make weed out to be this crazy hallucinogenic
Yeah.
trip.
And none of them,
Yeah.
like, either they're the weed smokers, none of them were like, that's stone, like, yeah, man, let's smoke some weed.
Yeah.
Like that stereotype either. We didn't have that. They were just two normal people
Two
smoking
normal people
weed
just
and having
smoking
a
weed,
good
having a
time.
good time.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
For a movie that's flawed and so many other things,
Yeah.
that's something they got, like, that's nice to see.
If you want to help the marijuana movement, have people like that in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think
just
they just
could-
would have wrapped it about 2 minutes sooner
Yeah.
because that just
Yeah,
goes
it does.
on.
They're
Yeah,
kind
it's
of.
long.
I agree.
Yeah.
The scene drags on. I'll give you that. But I made my point.
What's up with the decoration in the background? There's a plastic Santa that's plugged in and lit up.
They're in a garage.
Who decorated the
That's-
garage?
That's a great point. It's like it's a completely dark garage, but the one Santa is plugged in and lit up is a plastic Santa.
That's their light source.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it is a light source. You would think that thing would be should be outside on the lawn or inside, but yeah, that makes zero sense of why that's in the garage. But whatever.
I like how they're also sitting on a blanket when clearly next to lit up Santa are some fucking chairs.
Right.
There's chairs right there.
A Weber grill, some fucking chairs.
So Jake and Potato Face get up and head back inside. The girl gives him another kiss on the cheek and they hug, and then that's when from out of fucking nowhere, which makes zero fucking sense because they're inside a garage with one door, they get shish kebabbed, killed by a wooden yard decoration that gets staked through the base of Jake's neck, through the back of his neck, and it comes out his front, impales Potato Face through her chest, and they both die standing up.
Kebabbed together.
Yeah.
Shish kebab together.
I have stoner kebab.
So, I don't mind. It's just, where the fuck does Mrs. Claus character? It's in the enclosed space with one door.
Yes.
Right, we need to
Which
talk about
there's
this
no
spatial
way
awareness.
she would have been able to sneak inside there, unless she was in there the entire fucking time and just waiting, hiding in the corner.
Stood in the corner like a decoration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was the light up decoration. Oh my god. My mind, it's blown.
I'm also have a little bit of problem with the wooden impalement.
Mm-hmm.
Are you telling me this fucking little gal can get that speed to fucking double time?
Yeah, first of all, she's
I
like
don't know.
half the. Jake is a tall guy.
Yeah.
Right.
So she had to be on like a step stool to get that angle.
To like, hold on, just set up a small table, stay on
Yeah.
top of it.
There's no way she'd be able to reach that high up onto him to get that angle.
Yeah, and it's wood. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's wood.
If I tried to stab you in the back of the, like through the top of the neck, there's a big fucking bone there.
We can
You know,
try
there's
that,
lots
though.
of, I mean, along your spine, there's a lot of bones right there. To go through there, through the front, through her, with like
I'm
a
not gonna
dull,
argue- I
did not like that. It should have been metal.
We're
It's-
right.
but
I
I was
probably
like,
should,
oh.
but I'm not going to argue that. Here's why. Here's why. Because we, for generations now, have accepted vampire lore. That to kill a vampire, you have to kill him with a wooden stake through the heart. And how do you get to the heart? Through the breastplate, which is a hard plate of bone, which is probably harder than the neck vertebrae in the back. So if you're saying a wooden stake can go through, pierce a vampire's heart through a breastplate, then that wooden stake could go through a person's neck.
Could you get it through the ribs though? Like at
Yeah,
an
you
angle or
could,
something?
you could. But again, it's a kind of a
You're gonna,
crapshoot.
you're gonna be feeling up on Dracula's titties like, what are you doing?
But I mean, every vampire movie, it's always straight through the chest, straight down into the heart. That's blocked by the breastplate. So I'm saying, yeah, I'm not gonna. I see your point, but I didn't get that bad because, like, okay, wooden stakes kill vampires all the time through a breastplate.
I find that interesting
It's
that
the
you're
number one leading cause of vampire-related deaths.
that you're connecting it to vampire lore. I find that interesting.
It's just weird, but I'm like, because I'm.
So for some reason, it slides under the radar for you.
Yeah, it slid under the radar for me because like
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough. All right, and it is a horror movie. Let's just.
And it's like I mean,
Yeah,
it's
logic
not like
need not apply.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the neck. I mean, like there's vertebrae there, but
there's
it's
hard
not.
bones back there.
But it's also the neck. The vertebrae bones are smaller bones. It's not like he's going through like I said, like a femur or the breastplate or a rib. It's just ribs are gapped. But
What
I
if
don't know.
it went like right next to it? You know, like we still got some meat. It's right next to the neck, but like just kind of.
Could have.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now,
not like I'm covering.
I'll argue
for this
more that I
movie.
don't think the wood would have especially coming from that little girl, would have enough force to puncture him and the girl.
What if she
I
jumped
would
off
say
the top rope?
now that's maybe
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
yeah. If she's
My God! He split her in half.
It's a slobber knocker.
if she's Superfly Jimmy Snookered him, then maybe.
She's tougher than a $2 steak.
So
We gotta do it while he's in the bathroom. Well, we were
Motherfucker.
well, we weren't doing nothing. We're just having a podcast over here. Fuck.
yeah. So there goes that magic. Just like Jeff, you have to go piss. So anyway, so there's that. Let's move on. We've talked about that kill enough.
Vampire wrestlers? Shit.
Where was I in my notes? I think I already flipped. Did I flip my
Did
notes
I miss
already?
the opportunity to talk like Jim Ross?
No.
Yeah, a little bit. We
There's
moved on.
never a missed opportunity to talk like Jim Ross.
Who, by the way, for Aaron, you don't know because you don't follow wrestling. Jim Ross is unretired. He's now the head commentator for AEW.
Aside Tony Schiavone.
Yes.
Yes.
Tony Schiavone.
Yeah.
I
So
did hear that.
I'm in the loop.
Oh.
I'm in the loop.
Okay.
I'm very excited for that. I love Jim Ross.
And T-Bone's not bad. Tony Schiavone, yeah.
I'll tell you who I really like nowadays. We're going off a tangent here for guys, but I'm a big fan of Malo Runalo. I can never pronounce his name, but he's the commentator for NXT. Love this guy.
Now,
he
NXT,
may be my favorite
runs
announcer of all
opposite
time.
of AEW, doesn't it?
Yes, it's their competitor.
Ooh, is it trouble for you?
It was like I would record both of them, DVR both, and I'd go back and watch them. But it got to the point where like I love NXT so much that I stopped. I don't watch AEW anymore. I don't. And people say it's great. I'm sure it is. I love Chris Jericho. I love Cody Rhodes. I love some people, but I'm just like, I just don't have the time to commit to both right now. So I like NXT. I know the people. I know the stories. I love the announcers. I'm like, I just stick with NXT for now.
And we're back.
And we're back. So back in the living room, the rest of the group continues to drink, and they start to tell stories about each of their worst Christmases. Like,
What a
you
horrible
go around
fucking party.
Exactly. Like, hey, go around and tell your worst Christmas story ever. And so
And they're like, "Don't wait, we forgot the girl who had her sister killed is here."
yeah.
This bitch is always fucking trumping us with that shit.
So anyway, it's a drawn out scene as Kyle tells some grandpa shitting his pants story. We're gonna skip ahead because it's just drawn out. It
it's
doesn't
a
matter.
guy who tells shitting his pants stories. That's not a good one. It's
Ha ha ha! You're geriatric fuck.
and then he died.
And he died a
He
week
died.
later. Yeah.
So
Bring the fucking
Monica decides to go back outside to look for Taylor now.
Yeah, she got a text message from him.
Yes.
Yeah, so the killer is luring her out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Out jumps Mrs. Claus like, ha! And Monica runs for the door, but finds it locked now all of a sudden.
Yeah,
She
and
can't
her
get
mouth
back
is
in.
bleeding.
Yeah, which I don't understand. Like
She ate shit when she was running. She
She tripped
Yeah, she
over
didn't
something
fall,
in the yard.
but
Is that what
yeah,
happened? Because
yeah.
I was trying to she doesn't get hit by anything. She does fall. So I guess that's what's supposed to happen.
I gotta poke a hole in the scene real quick. How is the killer able to access Tyler's phone? Like she got the password there. Like
Well, maybe he didn't have a password.
who doesn't password protect their phone nowadays?
a vain prick like that.
Yeah, vein prick like Tyler. Like, who knows?
I think he would.
He
I
probably
think
he probably would
more.
of all people. He would have.
Yeah, he'd probably have his like face recognition. Then you had the thumbprint. Then you
Well,
have to put
if
it
she
in the phone.
killed him and has his thumb,
Yeah.
she could just go to the body, pick up his thumb,
Ooh,
and boop,
yeah,
there you
yeah.
go, and
You
lock it right
solved it
there.
for me.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We're doing this movie's job for it.
So there you go. She just uses his thumbprint.
Cheers to you, sir.
So yeah, Monica goes out there. Mrs. Claus jumps out. Like, ha! Monica turns, runs. The door is locked. The door she just came out of is locked. Which also, by the way, the quote unquote party, which is dull as fuck. There's no music. There's no noise. Nobody hears her like screaming or banging on the door.
No, this is the part where they put on the techno music,
Man.
and Grant is giving them
that's not coming up yet.
That's exactly when it's happening.
Yeah,
because
'cause
they
I
show
got
a
it
scene.
in my-
Okay.
They show a scene of him like holding Kyle's legs up, like dry humping him.
Yeah, okay.
As his sister and girlfriend go, "Yay!"
Yeah.
By techno standards, even that is fucking terrible.
Oh, it was terrible.
Oh,
It was terrible. Yeah, I'm not a techno fan, big picture, but that was bad.
Right, that is not a shining example.
Do you guys ever watch Rick and Morty? In
I
that
love
one,
Rick and Morty.
The one episode, it's like, this is human music. Boop boop boop.
That's what Jerry's listening to on the way out.
Boop boop boop.
It's like, this is good stuff. Yeah.
Shit on the floor. Show us what you got.
That's good though. That's actually good. What was human music? It's like doop doop doop.
So, anyway, so now Monica runs to, like, the gate in the fence, which is also locked now, which doesn't make any sense because that's a gate. You should just be like, oh, bloop, because those locked from the inside, and you're on the inside.
She's slobberknocked. I don't know.
So she turns around just in time to see Mrs. Claus raise a sickle now.
Yes.
Where the fuck she got a sickle from? Who knows?
Who knows?
It is
But
not even a candy cane sickle.
It's not. It's a straight up sickle. And one, it's like, it's actually not quite. It's a combination like a sickle and a scythe. It's like it's a. I don't know if it's a large sickle or
We're
a small
obviously
scythe,
from the
but one of the
Midwest.
two.
Splitting hairs.
No, they're very different things, motherfucker. Very
We've
different.
had this argument before.
You opened this box.
So,
Martin is
I'm
very
sorry.
particular about medieval weaponry. He really does.
Very sorry.
From the Midwest, you should fucking know that, man. God damn.
anyway, in one swoop, one clean motion, Mrs. Claus decapitates Monica, whose head goes flying off
that
into the night sky.
Poor mannequin. Did you see the fucking neck stump?
Yeah, you can like see the hole in the mannequin where the head was.
Cheese dick. All right, death number 7. Techno-cuted. It's like executed. A techno, but like a better joke. Anyway.
So the main group inside, they try texting Madison now to see where she is, and they hear her phone buzz, and this leads them to finding Madison's phone underneath the Christmas tree.
Blowing up that tree.
At this point, suspicions begin to arise. Grant decides, like, hey, it's time for me to take off. I'm out of here. So he leaves. Danielle and Kyle go upstairs to look for Madison. As Grant goes to leave, he gets stopped by Brinky Stevens, who once again just barges in, just walks right in.
No knock ridden.
Yeah,
Just
no
walks
courtesy
in.
here.
Officer No Knock. Yeah.
She
Fucking
tells
Snoopy
Grant,
tits.
Snoopy tits. She tells Grant that, hey, I'll take you home. Go wait for me out my car. I'll be right out.
I would be like, no.
Yeah.
I would say no.
And so he goes outside, gets in her car, while Brinky stays behind to ask the others some more questions. Brinky ends up going outside to look for Monica to ask her some questions now. And we cut to Grant in Brinky's car. He gets on the radio
Oh my
and
God,
asks if any
what a-
sexy ladies out there because
Is there
he
any
needs
hot
some
pussy out there?
'Cause he needs some pussy.
Sluts
I-
in this fictitious scenario.
I honestly kind of liked it.
I like Grant too. Like at first, the very first time I watched him, I was like, "Oh, I hate this guy." But I watched it. I watched.
grew
this
on
movie-
me. He grew
I
on
watched
me.
this movie
Yeah.
3 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and Grant actually grew on me. Like he's not the. At first, I hate him, but like he's not that bad. Like, and honestly, for a college kid, like cocky college kid who was a football player,
Football player,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I can buy it.
He looks
I
like
buy
Carrot
it.
Top's disappointment of a brother.
Dude, he
I
looks
can
like
see that,
He
yes.
looks like Rob Liefeld had sex with Carrot Top. There you go. That's a deep reach for the fucking nerds out there.
So,
I think we're all in this room. Real talk.
where were they?
Grant's making pussy
Yeah,
calls.
so Mrs. Claus gets in the back seat behind Grant.
Spatial awareness.
Just walks
What
right
the
and gets,
fuck?
and he's like, "Who the hell are you?"
Like, hey, what are you doing
Who
here?
doesn't turn around and talk? Like
Well,
you're
he
talking.
Yeah,
in
he
the
looks
rearview
in the
mirror.
rear
Don't
view. He's like, "Who the
turn
hell are you?" Because he's
around.
looking in the rearview mirror.
And at the same time, wouldn't you be like, whoa, what the?
Yeah.
Who? Like, very upset, very like, what the fuck's going on?
He's real casual about it.
Way,
Yeah.
way too casual.
Way
He's
too
a
casual.
fucking bungus.
And Mrs. Claus then just stabs Grant through the ear hole with some sort of Christmas tree decoration that impales Grant all the way through the head, literally going in one ear and out the other. And he's dead.
It takes a while to die too.
It does.
Oh god, they drag that shit.
At this
out.
point, I'm like, these are the quietest deaths I've ever seen in like a horror movie. Like no one screams.
Yes.
Or anything.
Some of them, I agree with you, but some of them, like this one,
would you die right away?
I would think this one must be an insta kill because this would have to go through your brain and stuff.
Yeah.
This would be like
Right.
insta kill.
It's
He would
going
not
all
be like,
the way through your right brain, left brain, all through the dura
well, a
mater.
little
You're, like,
lower
all
because
going
it
through
goes
all
in
that shit.
one ear and out the other ear hole.
Everything.
But still, it's punctures brain. That would be an insta kill. He wouldn't. That his lingering. That wouldn't happen. Monica's head decapitation would be instant death.
There's some
But-
twitching,
except for the scream beforehand.
I'd
which
make her
would be
eat her own
instant death.
butt with her severed head.
Okay, note to self: if I ever go crazy and start chopping people's heads off, I'm just gonna take their head and put it into their butt. And it's like, yeah,
That wasn't for
got
you.
that
Eat your
for
ass,
nachos.
eat your ass.
Eat your own ass.
Ew, why do you taste like shit?
Jesus Christ.
Do you got a name for this one?
Dipshit kebab. Hold up, man. Like those construction workers get those fucking nails through their brain, or is that like some fluke luck?
That's like
it's
fluke
mad?
luck. It's
All
like
right.
fluke luck. Like I've seen X-rays of like people have like railroad stakes going through them, and it's like a fluke luck that it doesn't hit a vital part of the brain.
There was a guy
or
who
doesn't-
came
What's up? What are you
into
doing
the.
with
It wasn't my ER or anything like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's been talked about a lot. And it's documented very well. You can find it anywhere. He has a knife all the way to the hilt, like a combat
Dude, I've
knife
seen that
Yeah.
shit.
to the hilt, and he walked into the emergency room and was like, "I need some help."
takes his top hat off. How do you do? I have massive brain trauma.
Apparently, he was fucking some other girl's wife. And the guy came home and went, "Shunk!" And then he goes, "Duly noted. I'm going to the hospital now."
I guess I'll leave now.
Right?
I can see the trip, so I will be leaving.
I guess I am the asshole here.
I deserve that.
You might have overreacted, but to each their own.
So we go back to Danielle and Kyle, who are knocking on Madison's door. They get no answer. They go inside. While back outside, Brinky is looking around with a flashlight looking for Monica and other people. And this is where I met Brinky Stevens in this movie. He's just dead, but we already talked about it. So Brinky goes into the garage now, looks around, sees nothing, but when she turns to leave, she gets startled by something or someone.
It's a Friday the 13th bullshit jump
Yeah,
scare.
she gashes, eyes go wide, but it cuts away before you see anything. And we go back to Danielle and Kyle.
This was my favorite part because as she goes into the garage, what does she do? She knocks on the fucking door.
Yeah,
of the garage.
bullshit.
The garage where no one is in, no one lives in the garage, and she's like, just so you know, I'm coming
Hello?
in.
She's a big fan of the Transformers. She doesn't want to fucking upset a car in mid-transformation. I gotta call this real quick. When she's looking around in the backyard, she turns around. Her fucking costume is identical to Lando Calrissian in Empire Strikes Back. I is dead fucking
He's
serious.
like, pause that, dude. It looks just like Lando from the back.
I will say I didn't think,
Which is
think that
terrifying,
part,
I-
but yeah, but
No, what
her
Lando looks like.
quote unquote security utility belt looks like something like it
It's-
got from like the stripper version
It's
of a
kinked
security
out
guard.
handcuffs connected.
Yeah, it's like the metal latch is like that's like from a stripper's costume or something. That's not a good.
You know what it
it's
was?
hilarious.
She was late for work that day. She's like, "Fuck, where's my regular?" But I'll use that Halloween,
Yeah, that's
costume,
what
my
exactly
Cher
it felt like,
costume.
yeah.
He leaned in. Nachos was like, that looks like kink cuffs.
I mean, right?
I agree. I thought the same thing, man.
She's like, "Fuck, I can't." Well, I mean, handcuffs. So I texted the guy, "Thanks, dog."
We're getting more beers for dudes. Keep track at home.
For you wonderful listeners,
All right, so
Making daddy drink.
anyway, Danielle and Kyle, they can't find Madison, so they start to go back downstairs when Danielle's phone beeps and she gets a picture of the bloody sickle that was used to decapitate
Sickle.
Monica.
Jeff, a sickle.
Thank you.
Downstairs, Kayla, for some reason, is sitting alone in the dark now. Why the lights are off, I have no fucking clue because they were just on this whole time they've been turned on. The power has never been cut, but all of a sudden the lights are off.
I was very-
Makes zero fucking sense.
I was very confused by that as well because the Christmas. It's like, okay, well the power hasn't been cut. It
because
hasn't-
there's Christmas lights on in the
Christmas
background.
lights are on the wall, on the tree.
Yes.
The
So I'm
Christmas lights are on the auxiliary fucking generator.
I guess because they like for some reason they go from all the lights are on, cut to Danielle and Kyle upstairs, cut to Kyla, all the lights are off except for the Christmas lights.
Kyla is the one who just like got this Christmas party all together. She took it very seriously. I think you're right, Nachos.
Right.
Christmas lights are on auxiliary.
But nobody cuts the
Yeah,
power.
but no one cuts the power.
Nobody cuts.
Yeah.
It's like, why are the lights off?
That's
It's-
a great question. That's really dumb.
yeah. So that means that Kylie had to decide to turn off the lights for some reason.
And so she's downstairs.
Even though now everyone's scared because all these girls are missing, everybody's freaked out.
Yeah.
But let me go turn the lights off and sit in the dark.
And again, everyone's scared. Everyone's terrified. Things are like it's it's starting to come out like something's fucking wrong, and they're separated.
Yeah.
you would be all, especially your brother and sister.
yeah.
you know.
You think
and- yeah.
I time to turn the lights on, not turn
and,
them
and
off.
you would be with them.
Yeah.
yeah.
So and she gets up and she does go to the stairs. She hollers like, "Danielle, Kyle, you okay?" And
Hurry
they-
up! I'm scared.
and
It's
they do-
sexy down here.
And they do say, "Hey, we'll be right down." So they do holler down, and she's like, "Okay." At this point, Kayla notices that the tree topper is missing. She turns
Yeah,
around.
she starts getting like really like. Well, that looks just tacky. She even
Yeah.
says, she goes, that just looks tacky. Where's the tree topper? All of a sudden, she gets like really back into her
Yeah.
Christmas motif.
Yeah, exactly. And she turns around for some reason now, and she just turns around, and she gets stabbed in her soft, wet eye hole.
Bam!
With the tree topper.
Eye hole.
by Mrs. Claus. She falls down dead, and Mrs. Claus drags her dead body off screen.
Okay.
Yeah, good luck.
How many fucking helpers did she have?
Did you
dragging?
have
Yeah.
the neighbor kids?
No, you have like an 80-pound like killer or something like this,
dragging
tiny
away
person.
this like 200-pound beauty of a beast.
Yeah,
I just want to see fucking Mrs. Claus like drag her like,
Fuck.
I was sad at this scene because Kayla was my favorite character.
She was mine too.
Of the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, this fucking gargantuan, just gymongous bitch.
again, no way the tiny killer would be able to reach her. She'd be like,
Right?
do like a jumping swing.
She got a ladder.
you know what it was? She got the fucking the carpet vac out, tied her to it, and fucking wheeled her out.
There you go.
Who did you think the killer was up at this point? I mean,
Honestly, you know what? I didn't care. I wasn't
Yep.
trying to figure it out at this point. I just didn't care.
I thought it was Kayla.
that's
I'm
who
like,
I was
everybody's
rooting
shitting on
for.
Christmas and ruining her fucking party. Like
maybe
she's
got
gonna be
that
killing
mold
motherfuckers.
kind of
That'd be cool.
Well, I got clued in pretty quick with the second kill or the kill where she stabbed I can't remember the weird sorority girl who just happened to be there, stabbed her in the stomach with all the blood
machete,
going out.
yeah.
When they showed her stab, her arm and hand were so skinny and small, holding it right there, and I'm like,
no spoilers.
you know, and I was like, I think I'm clued.
I would have liked it if it was Kayla, and that would be kind of cool if the whole opening flashback was like a red herring, like didn't fucking matter, and it was just Kayla, like, you shit on Christmas, like, and just snapped, and it had nothing to do with the beginning. That would have been interesting.
That'd be more fun.
Yeah.
Or
This is completely unrelated.
Yeah, completely unrelated.
what if she had
And then
like,
the actual
a
killer comes and
Watto?
like, what the fuck, man? Like, fuck you, I beat it too.
Blaming it on you. I'm
Ruined my
out.
party, maybe change the music.
You ruined my. How was he gonna do that?
Fucking
I beat
These
you.
motherfuckers had it coming, but I appreciate your work. Side note.
Yeah. So where were we? Kayla falls down dead.
That's
And
number
but-
9. Okay, she's probably not the killer. So,
What was your name for this one?
no, that was it.
No, she's probably not the killer.
I thought you were going like Starry Eyes or something like that.
Fuck, dude, that's way better.
It's not rainbow eyes. It's starry
Starry
eyes.
Eyes. Starry-eyed.
I lost it at the end. I was just like, I think I got like, oh fuck, yeah, I'm gonna have to ad-lib these.
All
We
right.
got it.
So Danielle and Kyle come back downstairs now, and the lights are back on.
Magic.
Yeah.
What? They're just back on.
It's a Christmas miracle.
And they notice that Kayla's now gone. Kayla's now gone too.
It was the clapper.
So Danielle wants to go outside and get out of the house, and Kyle's like, Assure's like, hey, everything's okay, everything's okay. They do go outside, and they call for the girls, and then Kyle's like, hey, we should go back inside, which is suspicious at this point. It's like, oh, maybe it's Kyle. It would make zero sense because they've been together the whole time, but I think they're trying to play that off. But why would he kill his sister? I don't know.
Maybe she was a bitch.
Yeah, she's like, well, we should call the cops. He's like, no.
Yeah,
we
exactly. He's
shouldn't
trying.
do
He's
that.
like defer.
Yeah.
He keeps it from doing it. He's like, it's okay.
Maybe
are
his
so
sister beat the shit out of him his
Oh my
entire life, and he
God.
was just never could get over it.
Or maybe it was like a Tara Bloodfart Lake thing where Cassius, she got the Prince album that he wanted, and
Yes.
and he got the,
Marshall,
Captain
that-
Kangaroo Christmas special album.
That's
that,
right,
you
yeah.
know,
Marshall,
maybe
that
that's
is
what it
a
was.
deep cut. Good
Yeah.
call.
Terror at Bloodfart Lake. I can't even get that out.
Yeah. Great.
God
movie.
damn, that's a fun movie.
That
Those
is a
were
fun movie.
fun movies. Side note.
Eventually we'll get to number 2, I'm sure. But anyway, again, Kyle is like we should go back inside, and Daniel's just like, I just want to leave and go get help, but and they hear a twig snap, like, uh-oh, and they look around, they don't see anyone. So lots of twig snapping in this movie, and no one's there. Kyle does convince to go back inside, and that it's just Grant and Jake messing around with them because, hey, it's Christmas, right? Everybody plays pranks on Christmas.
Everyone likes to
classic
terrify
bullshit.
people on Christmas.
Right.
They head back up to Danielle's bedroom, where now they find all the dead bodies in her bed.
And they focus on Kayla's big ass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
they do.
our 80
It just
pound
takes up like 80% of the
frame.
screen. It's this ass.
So our 80-pound killer managed to haul up all these bodies up the stairs and get them onto the bed in a matter of like minutes. And not just everybody, but yeah, Kayla's big ass, which she never called. That's like
They put Kayla down first and then put the bodies on her and used her like a sled.
or she had like, hey, 2 men in a truck. I need to go over and move. Bring your movement over here. You do.
What's Texas? So she probably. I'm done.
It's just so aggravating because this is like this is where you should have reveal after reveal after reveal. If you do it in a classic way, it's like they go into one room like, oh,
One
they
falls
swing
down,
yes,
swings.
they
from,
run
like,
to the other room and it's
rooftop.
like
Like
oh,
Crispin
someone's
Glover's
head's in the
fucking
toilet.
nailed to the
Oh, it's
wall.
like all these bodies could easily be, if you're gonna play the game, just spatter them around the house.
Yeah,
but
They
they're
hide
all
one in this closet, another in that closet.
it's like someone just dumped them all in one.
Yeah,
They're
like,
like,
here you
yeah,
go.
just.
I think they were going for like a happy birthday to me kind of
They
thing.
pulled a Friday
But
the
they were all
13th
just
part
sitting
5.
and like they're all just like piled.
Well-
And Happy Birthday to me, they were like
Right,
set
set
up
up.
around the table,
Having
yeah.
a good time.
But yeah, and table that makes sense. But what would make more sense is they piled them all up in a
pyramid?
Angela's old room where the
Yes.
murder took place,
Yes.
not in Danielle's room, which is just a random room in the house. It has no bearing on the whole backstory of this movie. But anyway, so Danielle screams, and two of them rush out out of the bedroom into the hallway and run into Mrs. Claus, who's welding a machete. They go back into the bedroom,
Did you say
close.
welding a machete?
Yeah,
Sorry,
welding a machete.
wielding.
Wielding.
Yeah.
What did I say? Welding.
Welding.
Oh, thank you.
We
Wielding.
think she's like someone's like got
Yeah,
a blowtorch.
she's got the mask on. No, she's
That'd
That'd
wielding.
probably
Sorry.
be way creepier.
She's in the hallway with the blowtorch. Looks like, yeah, I'm just wait. Just wait.
20 minutes in your ass.
I ain't worried about you getting away. Just wait.
Can we make that movie? Fuck.
So they go back into the bedroom, close the door behind them, but they don't fucking lock the door
No!
or try to block you with a piece of furniture because Mrs. Claus just opens it up and comes in. It's fucking hilarious. I laughed at this
This is
part.
like
I was
softcore porno bad acting.
Yeah.
She comes in and she's like shaking, like it's
yeah, it's like wiggly. Oh, I guess
it's,
no.
like, it's like the fucking start scene of Mortal Kombat. You know when you select your character and
Yeah,
they're like,
they're like driving back and
You're in
forth.
their fight stance. Yeah, that's what she's doing.
none of the listeners could see us, but it was a room full of fucking
But I just laughed
guys
so
right
hard.
like-
Like, we're getting the bedroom quick. We'll be safe. Close the door. Uh-oh. Just open it right in. She just comes right in.
She's
brandishing that
so-
fucking plastic rubber
so
machete too.
Small.
So tiny. Which I'm like, okay, I get it.
You hit the bitch with a pillow.
And a machete is, yeah, it can be deadly and hurt, but I'm like, if I see this tiny little person, I'm like, okay, she might get whacked, it's gonna hurt, but I can tackle her ass to the ground and overpower.
she looks
She's
like-
so tiny. She's the least intimidating killer I think we've ever seen in any movie we've done on this show. Like, and there's two of them.
Yes.
Just charge this bitch and tackle her ass. She's like 80 pounds wet.
just for a callback to your guys'
Spoiler,
podcast.
it's a she. I've been saying it out.
Just a callback to Here Comes the Spooky's most recent episode of Santa's Sleigh.
Yeah.
When Goldberg kicks Chris Kattan, I think I could do the same type of effect kicking her, like, wow! Just see her fly across the room. I think that could be easily done.
It's like the size comparison of her and the machete. It's almost like a Soul Calibur kind of thing. Like
Yes!
It's like a Final Fantasy sword.
Right,
It's like
it's
Cloud's
the
big
fucking
ass
Buster
sword.
she's like, I'm gonna get you with a machete, but like, oh, let me get a swing started.
Or like
Kinda-
pyramid heads. Like it's
Right, yeah.
There we go.
She's got to use two hands on the machete.
But that machete she's waggling around it's now in all the lighting,
Yeah.
all the glory, and it's just so
Could have spray
fake
painted
looking.
that shit silver. Hit it with
Yes,
a fresh
it's bad,
coat.
but I still give it credit because it's not as bad as the shit we saw in front.
But here's the thing: you go to like Johnny Brock's dungeon, and those things are like $12 to $15. A real machete costs the same amount of
Exactly.
money.
Yes.
It
Yes.
made no sense to
You're
have
right.
this
You're
But
right.
one.
you're right. I will say you're correct. But and I'm just playing devil's advocate on this. But in this scene,
It's Texas too.
you would almost argue that they would want the fake one because of the close proximity. They actually are for safety reasons not to use a real machete in this type of scene.
It looks like that 80-pound bitch couldn't hold anything.
couldn't-
like,
probably couldn't hold
heavier than
it,
that.
yeah.
But I'm pretty sure coming up, there's like a real blade in the next
Now,
scene
if they
or two.
just we're just doing a scene where they just show the machete, she raised it and it's just a shot of the machete.
a cutaway.
Use the real machete. But
Yeah.
but anything like when it use the fake one. I mean, that's the shit they do in The Walking Dead all the time. They replace them with the rubber weapons when they're in close
That is
proximity
not
for
fair
safety.
to compare these two.
You're right.
things.
You're right. I'll give you that. But I'm playing devil's advocate.
Vastly
on
different
why
budgets.
not. Vastly.
One's like a Tic Tac versus steak dinner, man. You know, that's not fair.
They wasted all their budget on blood.
So anyway, at this point, you do see blonde hair sticking out the back of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
zombie mask that Mrs. Claus is wearing.
I felt so duped with this.
And like I said, she's so tiny compared. And Danielle is a tiny girl herself.
She is,
She's
yeah.
small, but Danielle is bigger than the killer, and Danielle is a sprite of a girl, just a tiny.
Good term.
So Kyle puts himself between Mrs. Claus and Danielle, and Mrs. Claus starts mocking Danielle, calling her whiny, and saying that all this is her fault and for her coming here. And at this point, you know who it is for all that. And she rips off the mask, and to no one's surprise at this point, it's Mrs. Werner.
It was to my surprise.
Was it really?
I think you were in the
She was
bathroom
so
during that part.
insignificant, and she was just there for a second, and that's such a common thing with horror movies or any movie. It's like, oh, the character we met for like 5-10 seconds turns out to be the killer. So I just wasn't going there like in my mind.
Okay.
It was too obvious that you
I
completely
have
eliminated
done that
her.
before. Like, oh, that's too obvious. I'm going to go away from that, and then it comes.
With all the
I've done that
emails and
before.
stuff,
Like
I
Billy
just
and Scream.
I'm like, it's too easy. Well,
Oh, it was.
So she puts down the machete, or to start cutting her with words.
Yeah, they shout back. She's still holding the machete, but they shout back and forth and argue, and they're blaming each other for each other's loved one's death of their loved one. So it's like, it's your fault my sister, or my daughter died. Well, it's your fault my sister's dead. And they're like bickering like cat. They're just like
Your
bickering back
fucked
while
up
she's like
daughter
trying to
killed
like
my sister.
Well, she's holding a machete. And she's like, no, you did it. Yeah, it's
Just waiting for
it's
Dr.
bad.
Phil to come out.
And
Kyle's just like, I'm gonna let you
and-
ladies have this.
I just wish Kyle would have taken the machete and be like, that's it.
Exactly,
Just cut
just-
himself.
he just reached out and grabbed that
just
thing.
kill himself.
I'm out. Fuck
And
this.
Mrs. Werner keeps calling Danielle a cunt throughout this entire thing. Like, the cunt word is dropped a lot in this scene. In comes Brinky now, because of course she doesn't knock. She just walks in.
Officer
She is
No Knock.
also armed with a fucking machete. Where's everybody getting machetes
It's a
from?
butcher knife.
Snoopy Tits had a butcher knife.
It was a butcher
It's a
knife.
butcher
It's a
knife?
butcher
knife.
No,
Yeah.
there's
Yes.
no way it's a
No,
butcher
it's a
knife.
butcher
For
knife.
reals.
You got 3 against 1. It was a butcher knife.
Yeah.
It was
We
a
wouldn't
kitchen
fib you,
knife.
Marshall.
Was
We
it a
wouldn't
big?
fib you.
I
was a
thought
big
the kitchen
kitchen
knife at
knife.
first, but then went. Okay, all right.
It's
We'll
a
come back.
big
We'll
kitchen
come
knife.
back. It's a big. Yeah, I thought it was.
Now, it's funny because
All right, so
she comes in, she's like, freeze, see?
At first, like, oh, she has a gun. Like, that's not a
That's
gun.
exactly what I thought. I was like,
Wait,
does she
what
have a
if-
gun?
It's not even a
Hold on.
taser.
I
Like,
thought
a
to myself,
security guard
maybe is that a taser? No,
What if
that's a
this-
fucking
what if
knife.
this safety
I
was
would
on?
be like, okay, a gun would not make sense for a security guard, but a taser would. Like, she should at least have a taser or some mace or something for a security
A
guard.
mag light.
Yeah.
That-
You should just spray her with the mace or something. Like, this is the worst security.
But honestly, when you come to a fight between a machete and a big knife, machete wins.
Yeah, machete should win.
And the machete just goes,
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
she's
Mrs.
like-
Claus is like, all right, you got me, and like puts like her arms down,
Nah,
like
she
like she's
doesn't
like,
put the machete down. She lowers her arms because Brink's like, freeze, stop, lower your weapons.
Freeze, sucker bitch.
Brinky pulls out a cell phone, calls the cops. Then Mrs. Werner says, "Oh, you think this is over? But it's just getting started." And with
Psych, motherfucker.
that, Brinky turns and
This was
stabs Kyle in the stomach with what I thought was a machete. Because when you see it going, I'm like, "Oh, that's a fucking machete. That's not a knife." Because at first I thought, "Oh, it's a Michael Myers knife," but no, it's bigger than that. So I thought it was a machete too. But I guess it's a giant
it's a
fucking
big
knife.
knife. It's a
Machete
big kitchen
too.
knife.
So
this is a
Machete
good
kills.
twist. This one got me. For
This
sure.
is the one that got me. Brinky stabs Kyle. Kyle collapses to the floor. And Brinky says, "Merry Christmas, Danielle, from my family to yours." And then we find out that turns out Mrs. Werner and Brinky are sisters.
Bomb, bomb, bomb.
And Brinky says that she's given her sister the greatest gift of all, revenge,
Roadhead.
before making her pain go away for good. And then
Dude, I don't-
Brinky turns on her sister and hacks her down by hacking her
Yes
down
and-
straight down
yes and
into
no,
the
but
head
yes.
with her fucking machete knife, killing Mrs. Werner now.
That's what they
There's
want
so
you
much
to
blood in this scene, but there's no wound.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
At all.
Yeah,
Not
so
a
much,
single
but like, when you
fucking
see
wound.
Mrs. Werner's head, there's like a little bit, there's some blood coming out, but there's no like skull.
Like, a
And
wound.
there's
ton of
like-
it's shooting out the back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wanted
there's
to
just tons
see-
of blood just pouring out around her,
Yeah.
but no actual.
Like,
I was
she
just-
comes down on her head like a like she's trying to split like a cantaloupe or like a
like she's trying
coconut.
to
Yeah.
split her from top to bottom.
Yeah.
I was expecting like a
down the
head
middle.
pussy.
from her bitch
like,
box
wound,
to her
and there was
whore
nothing.
hole.
Ooh, I like that. From her bitch box to her horror
That's
hole.
Freddy Krueger from the Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash comic.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's a good read. So like I wanted to see her like I'm gonna nerd out for a second. Dragon Ball Z, like remember when Frieza came back and Trunks splits him down the middle? I wanted to see like that head shift, but not what this movie's
No,
about.
this movie doesn't. That's
you get
too
some
much.
ketchup.
That's too much. That's too much money to do that kind
I
of
mean, if you
effect.
couldn't afford a real machete,
You
you're
get
gonna
that
get
three
You're
pepper
not getting-
sauce from the dumpster out beside fucking Arby's, man.
So that big, reveal, surprise turn. Brinky then knocks Danielle unconscious, blackout.
Just
Danielle comes to lying in a bed. When she wakes up, she finds Brinky standing over her. And Brinky says, "I see you recognize the room. It's fitting that it ends for you in the same place that it ended for your bitch of a sister." So now she's in Amber's room on what probably hope was not the same
No
bed
shit.
because that would be fucking crazy. But in Amber's
Well, you don't
room,
keep your mattresses around
No,
for 10 years?
they
Yeah.
flipped the mattress, man.
after
It's all
someone gets
good.
brutally murdered
Just
in it.
flip it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Sure is a lot of blood on there.
So Brinky then starts like runs like the tip of her knife machete. This looks like a fucking machete.
Now this is a machete.
This is a machete.
This
is
is a
like-
machete.
This is the machete. This is the machete.
In parentheses.
Yes, this is the big plastic machete.
Yeah, but I'm saying this is definitely machete. This is
Yes,
why. Okay,
this
this,
is-
This is
maybe
a
where I got confused.
two-hander fucking...
Okay, maybe she took the one that
Right.
Mrs. Werner had.
They should have ADR'd some fucking sound effect that made it sound like metal and not like plastic dragging on fucking fabric. Like,
But she's running the tip of the machete over Danielle's body while rambling on about how the death of her sister's daughter consumed her sister with hate.
oh, get the fuck
Um,
over it.
She goes on to say that she had to put both her sister and the house out of its misery, and that this is not going to be quick and it will be painful. With that, Brinky raises the machete up for a killing blow. Danielle rolls out of the way
Does a barrel roll.
and runs out of the room and down the stairs, but I think trips on something at the bottom and
A
falls.
small plastic Christmas
a
tree.
tiny plastic Christmas
I
tree.
looked away because she's run down. I look down. I guess time and I look and she's on the floor.
It's like the
what?
size of a cat.
Yeah, it's so small and insignificant that I know she's a small person, but she should still just be
That's how I.
like running right through it.
And
Yeah.
she tried her hardest to fucking sell that phone.
Yeah.
Ugh, and slowly catches herself. It's like, no, that's believable.
That's how I gauge my tree measurement by cats. Oh, that tree was 3 cats tall. Oh, it was a calico. What? All right. Sorry.
So Brinky catches up with Danielle, but Danielle is able to grab. There's a small struggle, but Danielle grabs some sort of like metal pipe or pole. I don't know what the fuck this is or
the base
why
of the
it's in the.
tree.
It was the base of the tree she tripped over. So it's like this like pole that holds up like a silver Christmas tree that's
like a
about waist
slinky
high.
kinda thing.
Okay.
She trips over that and it's next to her. And I
Okay.
think she grabs that as
But it's just the
Brinky.
pole.
It's the
Not-
pole.
Where's
yeah.
the rest of the tree then?
Well, I guess it's
Anyway, she grabs this
Fucking knows.
It's
pole.
bullshit. That's what it is.
She grabs this little metal pole and she stabs it up through Brinky's mouth and out the back of her skull,
Oh my god.
killing Brinky. Brinky's blood pours out of her mouth, covers Danielle's face, and like the
Just
mask of the Red
raining
Death.
right
and
up
it will
Evil
not
Dead.
stop.
It does not
It's
stop.
like getting in her mouth and shit, and she's like,
It's like Hatchet at the very
cut!
end.
Cut!
Sean, it went in my mouth.
I'm actually drowning!
It just keeps going and going, and they cut to Brinky Stevens. She's going, "Blah," just barfing this blood, and I'm like, that bitch is getting waterboarded.
Yeah, she is getting waterboarded with this
She's
blood.
like, "Blah," just covered.
Fun side note,
I loved it. Honestly.
waterboarding at Guantanamo Bay sounds really cool if you don't know what either of those things are.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You want to do some waterboarding? Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like yeah, let's go water skiing. Like,
Who
you know, it
wants
sounds
to
like
go to
a water sport.
Guantanamo Bay for spring break?
We black out again.
I'm about
We
to.
time jump another year in the future, a year later. Danielle and Kyle are outside of Kyle's house, and she thanks him for a wonderful dinner. He asks her to stay over, but she's like, no, I got to get some work done. And they talk about spending Christmas in Vegas this year.
So Kyle has survived.
He survived.
Yeah,
miraculously.
He has survived.
Because I'm like looking at the scene and I'm like, she's got a new fucking boyfriend already?
No, they
Well, it's
fuck-
been a year, but
he did
Right.
They stabbed his shirt. He was fine.
they hug, he kisses her, and she goes to get into her car. And Kyle's never seen again. In the car, she finds a gift box sitting in the passenger seat. She opens it up and finds a bloody note, which, bitch, that should be clue number one just to get out of the car and go back to Kyle's. Like, I found a bloody note
Call
in
the
my
cops,
car,
call
call
the
the
cops,
cops.
right. Yeah.
But no, she opens it up, reads a note which says, you thought it was over, but I'm dreaming of an even bloodier Christmas. Red flag number 2, drop the note, get out of the car, go get the Kyle and call the cops. But nope, she wads it up, stuffs it back in the box, and then looks around, like looks out her window, looks around, sees no one, and then popping up in the back seat behind her is the masked Mrs. Claus again. Blackout, roll the credits.
So
I think there's like a scream.
Yeah, there's no screen.
Oh,
it's just
Jesus.
blackout roll.
Mm.
It like zooms on like an eye of like Mrs. Claus's like the mask, and then it just blacks out.
nobody in this
And
movie has
that's it.
spatial awareness.
Yeah.
I'm
Do you
aware.
have a name for that one?
Oh no, I gave up. the movie gave up on me. I gave up on the movie.
How about third time's a charm?
I got a gag, but it's for later.
Okay.
Well, that everybody, that movie is Mrs. Claus. So that brings us to.
Well, hold on.
okay.
Hold on. Did you
What?
watch the rest of the credits?
I didn't see anything at the credits. I did. I didn't
You
see
guys,
anything.
did you watch all the way to the end? At the very end of the credits, there's like a garage door opening. You don't see anything, you just hear it. And inside, like the car comes in, and then you hear Kyle goes, "Did you have to get blood all over the car?" And then it just stops.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Yes.
Because if that's just audio, I did not.
It's all audio.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you guys catch that?
No.
I did not.
As soon
That-
as you saw those
that's-
credits, it's turned it off.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
that's different. I did not, because I didn't turn it off, but like I watched on Amazon and I just kind of skimmed forward, and when you see the fast forward on Amazon, it shows you frame by frame
Yeah.
the image
Yeah,
wise.
I did that too.
But it doesn't play sound. So I was like, I don't see if there's anything showed up. Nothing showed up. So it's just credits, and I turned
I
it
did
off.
the same thing, and right when I hit it, I just like, well, let me just check, and I just went all the way to the end, and I saw audio. It said Kyle, because I had my, my
I did not
subtitles
have
on.
subtitles on for this
I had
one.
subtitles. I was like, holy shit! So I stopped and went back. Sure enough,
Whoa.
it's like all you hear is like a garage door opening, a car pulling in, and then Kyle going, "Why'd you have to get blood all over the car?"
That's actually pretty cool. That
Wow.
changes
That
things.
changes things.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Wow. And
That
normally
actually-
I'm the one saying that, and you're the one who's like,
Yes,
I
I'm
turned it off.
surprised you guys didn't catch
That's
that.
awesome,
Yeah.
man.
And then Thanos shows up, and I'm like, what?
So,
This movie gets awesome.
We were kind of excited to just turn it off.
Real talk, I saw the fucking little centimeter of the credits. It's just like, shut it down. Dude, fucking no.
yeah, so all right, so now that brings us to favorite kills. Favorite kills.
So many wonderful kills to choose from, but you can only choose one. Them's the rules, Puddin'.
All right, so man, I really jumped the gun. I almost went to 5-star reviews on that. But favorite kills. We always start with our guests. We'll start with this end with Nachos. What is your favorite kill of Mrs. Claus?
Either the double penetration in the beginning or the fucking no, when she was hanging and her eyes were like whiting out and she was like that one.
The hanging one,
That
yeah.
was a little creepy, man.
Yeah.
They say suicide is painless. I mean, whatever. Mashing their
You should try it.
Hey, it's a great trick, but I can only do it once.
All right, Cincinnati Jeff, what you got?
I'm gonna have to go with Juicy's death.
Juicy.
Fuck you,
Because
idiot.
she hits her so hard, her fucking head goes flying, a la Jason style, and just the fact that it's clearly a mannequin, I just very much enjoyed just how bad it was.
Woo mannequin? Woo mannequin.
Woo mannequin.
I thought you were woke, motherfucker. Come on.
Woo mannequin.
Speaking of woke, I'm gonna go with PC Wokenstein. How he got his head pulled back all the way to the bend with a candy cane, but down the throat with the throat slit, which I thought was a good looking throat slit.
Yeah.
We see a lot of throat slits and they look like shit. This one looks good because you can see like where the skin was cut,
Open
and blood.
wound.
Open
Jeff, move your
wound
fucking melon so I
with
can
the
see
blood
what
coming
Dylan's
out of it.
talking.
It was well done. I didn't like that guy when I saw him killed. I'm like, all right. So yeah.
Wow, this is a rare. Like we've had 3 different favorite kills this time. Normally it's like the same kill most of the time. Now, am I gonna go with the 4th different one? No. Unfortunately, one of you guys said my favorite kill already, and I'm torn between Tyler's Wolkenstein and the dildo stabbing in the very beginning. Those were both insanely bloody. Like the first one was super bloody.
Well,
The
you
dildo-
liked the hanging.
I was the hangman, the hanging
hanging.
woo man.
Oh, you're right. You're right. The Woo Man. I'm thinking. But then I take it back. I go with either the dildo in the mouth and the stabbing, which is similar to Tyler's because they both got some. They both end up deep throating something. One got stabbed, the other got slow fritz. So which one do I like better? Well,
Marcia just wants something in the mouth.
I just want something in that mouth. I hated Tyler as a character. He fucking sucked. I hated him. So I was on that part. I was glad to see him die, but the sheer brutality and the blood effects on that first one were pretty awesome. And Crazy Angela sold it. So I'm like, ew, who do I go with? Who do I go with? So it's a kind of a tie for me between Tyler and Angela. But I know my rules. I have to
Gun to
pick
your head,
one.
yeah.
I have to pick one.
No pressure.
I'll go with Amber at the very beginning.
Oh, so we got like 4 different
4
deaths.
different ones.
Oh my god.
Wow, that
Just
says something about this movie.
Yeah, just because of the brutality and the blood effects that it helped kick the movie off.
The
Like,
dildo in the mouth.
The dildo mouth, and then all that blood and just the crazy brutality. I'm like, okay, they're not skipping on the blood. This is a kind of at the point, I'm like, okay, this is a sign, a plus for them, a pro check mark in the pro column so far. But then then it goes on. But
What was the worst stuff?
Worth
That's a
that?
good
I'm saying the
question.
machete face thing at the end. That was
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
bad.
that
Mrs.
was-
Werner was
Yeah,
bad.
the death of
Mrs.
Mrs.
Werner was
Claus.
probably the worst one.
Yeah, it has to be either Mrs. Werner or Sophie with the Christmas lights strangulation.
Yeah,
I mean, the
yeah.
blood,
It was blood.
and the blood effect, it looked good, but it's like I can't.
But it
buy
just
that.
kept pouring down. That's one thing I did like about
Yes.
it. This ridiculous amount of blood
Yeah, but
pouring
I
down.
have a hard time buying that Christmas lights with
And
sever and neck.
I
like
just
that.
kept thinking, whoever owns that car, their seat is going to be ruined.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the
a
same-
great point.
It's the same car every time.
But it's probably Mrs. Warner. That was probably the
Yeah,
worst.
I
one.
think Miss Warner was
I
the
agree.
worst.
That was whack as fuck.
All right, so there's our favorite kills. Let's move on to the odds and the ends.
Hey, where do you think you're going? Mr. M and Mr. A ain't done yet. Here comes the odds and ends. Now sit down.
All right, so ratings for this movie. IMDb gives it a 3.6 out of 10.
That is generous.
Rotten Tomatoes, there is no official thermometer score, and it has no audience score yet.
Huh.
So it is on the site, but there's nothing. There's
Interesting.
nothing there. And Amazon, being Amazon, 3 out of 5.
what?
Amazon's always if you get below 3, you did something wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
We could probably take a video of Nacho just having diarrhea and shitting on the toilet, put it up on Amazon, and probably get 3 stars.
3 stars.
3 stars.
I'll spare you that shit story. That's for off the air.
We don't need to take a video, sir. I have it.
Oh, all right. Well, put it on Amazon. You'll get 3 stars.
Is that what that camera was doing in your bathroom?
So, plot keywords. There are only 3.
Disappointment.
Yeah, I'll make it 4. I wish. Yeah. Sorority, Christmas, and slasher are the only 3 plot keywords. Trivia, I could not find anything trivia wise.
Should we make some up?
Sure.
Sure, let's make up.
Kyla baked all the cookies.
Kayla baked her own cookies.
Her mom was actually Miss Debbie. Fuck. Okay, ruin that.
Kayla's mother is actually Amazon Jenny or Amazon Julie from the Tosh Show. If you ever saw that, she interviewed a the giant Amazon
shit,
woman.
dude. That
That's
ass-
her. That's Kayla's mom.
Who like grabs men and like rocks them
Yes.
back and forth
Yeah.
between her tits.
Yeah, that's Kayla's mom.
And like sits on people.
Fucking steamrolls them in the bed, kind of shit.
Yeah.
To appear smaller than she was, Kayla actually shoots all her scenes from her knees.
Yes.
They do the fucking Peter Jackson like forced perspective.
Kayla's actually like 30 feet in distance back.
Don't get me wrong, as big as she was, she's pretty fucking hot.
Her stunt double was Coco the gorilla.
Old Potato Face also doubled as Scarecrow in Batman.
She was Spiegel's stunt double.
Oh god.
No, dude. When they're in the fucking garage and they're getting high and she starts using words out of that hole in her face, that was the weirdest fucking thing. It's like,
There's helium in that weed.
I don't know, dude. That was terrifying. I was like, is this real? Is this real life right now?
How drunk were you?
Sober.
We had actually stopped 20 minutes in. We're like, we're too fucking
Did you
drunk
guys
for
like
this.
actually watch this together?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep, and then we finished it up this morning sober. We
Yeah,
spent the night together.
Residually
Oh, nice.
hungover.
Nice. All right. With that said, we do get to play a end of December, end of the year edition of the Budget Game.
I like math.
Now it's time for everyone's favorite game show. Guess the budget, where the loser gets a pie in the face and the winner gets a pie in the face.
All right. I'm excited for this. So we get to guess the budget of the 2018 Mrs. Claus, and we start with our guess. So we'll work from my left to my right, and I'll write down the guesses here.
Oh shit.
So Nachos, McWerewolf. What is your guess for the budget of the 2018 Mrs. Claus?
How much do you think this costs?
Fuck, dude. All right. So the movie was shot in like 4 rooms. Dead fucking serious, man. Everybody was like an improv actor. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Not a lot of gore. The mask looks store-bought.
Oh, 100% that mask is store-bought.
Right, they just gave it a new fresh coat. It looked kind of like that Doctor Who, the fucking statues, the you know what I'm talking
The Weeping Angels?
Thank you, nerd. As I have a fucking clownfish shirt on. Man, I don't know. Let's go 28,000.
What?
I don't know. I don't math.
2, 8?
No,
Comma?
it's $1,500. There we go.
You're doing 1,500. Okay.
1,500.
All right.
That's
Cincinnati
generous.
Jets, what is your guess?
I'm gonna say this was made on a budget of $80,000.
80,000.
So you get a lot of special effects, like with the mechanics behind all the, like the kills and stuff like that, tons of blood and stuff like that. Obviously, you got to pay the actors, insurance, and things like that. So I don't say it's definitely not more than 100,000.
Okay, 80K. And Aaron, what is your guess?
I'm gonna go above because you have Brinky Stevens, who is somewhat of a name. She does probably require a little bit of payment. There's a lot of actresses actually in this movie. You do see some tits from Heroin Barbie,
Amy Boone Farm.
but there's not a lot of effects. It's also like filmed in suburbia. It's like it's like right outside, like outside your house. It's like Eric's house. It's like it was filmed in the same place. They had Texas flags in the background everywhere. I don't know if you guys noticed.
It looks like it was shot on an iPhone. Real talk.
It was a little better than that. I'm gonna go a little bit. I'm gonna say a cool 100.
100K for Aaron. All right. Well, 2 of the 3 of you busted your wad, shot your wad all over the place. Mm-hmm. If we're playing Price is Right rules, the winner would be Nachos McWerewolf. But he came in way under too. Budget for Mrs. Claus, $10,000.
Holy shit!
Wow. $10,000.
Why are you guys surprised? Like it didn't show? Come on, man.
It took me a while. I didn't want to write 80,000 down for a second because, like, is he joking? Like, I couldn't tell, like, is this a joke or not?
I was serious.
Me too.
I mean, you got salaries to pay,
and
like
you have been getting
insurance and
better
stuff?
about this lately. You just lost it on that, like 10,000. Anyway, all right. So that brings us.
What was the cookie budget?
The cookie budget was like 60% of that 10,000.
Through the roof.
So that brings us to 5-star reviews.
Holy shit.
5 stars? 5 stars? These loonies must be crazier than I am. Lock 'em up.
Oh, yes. There are 34 total reviews on Amazon. 40% of those 34 are 5-star reviews, with 34% 1 star. I did not do 1 stars this week. I just went with 5 stars. So from Andrew Brown, in the spirit of Black Christmas, this film is a retro old school vibe. Some scenes are shocking, but the story is really cool with a good twist at the end. I will never look at a dildo in the same way again after watching this movie, LOL. I enjoyed this movie a lot. 5 stars. I'm sorry, but to mention Black Christmas in the same sentence with this is, you should get slapped in the face for that.
How many dildos does he look at?
That's the other thing I want to know.
You
Like,
should get slapped in the face with a fucking dildo for
Yeah.
saying that shit.
I am curious to how often he looks at dildos. From Kimberly Ann. I love this one. Never seen this. Can't wait to watch it. 5 stars.
5 stars.
What? I want to see the next is her review. I saw it. It was garbage. 1 star.
Danielle Glenn. Just outright mean women. Yeah.
Hold me like a baby.
She'll put a cookie in your mouth and rock you to sleep.
Just suck on her nipple. Until
Just
I fall
like
asleep.
fucking hide me under one of those giant tits like a tarp.
So from Michelle Bennett.
Master Blaster style.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Michelle Bennett writes, it has everything you would want from a cheesy slasher flick. Dare I say, this movie is going to become a new Christmas movie watch tradition. I think so. Cult classic in the making. And I'm like, that's a tall order.
That's a tall order.
Big tall order.
There are much better Christmas slasher movies to watch.
Yes. And we didn't talk about, they do actually mention Silent Night, Deadly Night in this movie. They do mention that.
Yeah, they do.
Dude, they
That's right.
name
Grant
drop.
does.
In the party scene, they talk about, hey, let's watch a movie. And like, oh, we got Prancer and National Lampoon and blah, blah.
yeah.
Well, what about Silent Night, Deadly Night? And they do drop that
Guys,
one.
what the fuck is Prancer? I don't
Hopefully
know
it's
this.
part 3.
Prancer is about Prancer the reindeer, and it's a Christmas movie from like the 90s.
Prancer gets lost from Santa's sleigh and ends up in like this little girl's backyard, and she like takes care of him, and then Santa comes and finds him later.
And then he comes out and he's like, I'm fabulous. I'm Prancer.
He's got glittery leg warmers on, and
He's on
he's
fucking
doing
Tyler's
jazz
podcast
hands
and
to
then
Bob
just gets-
Fosse.
Prancer, we would have accepted you no matter what your sexual orientation.
he's lighting the hoof. That's what you're saying?
Prancer would be the gay reindeer who wouldn't be accepted, but now everybody's a
Yeah, of
woke.
course, everyone-
Now
well,
he's. But
Wait a minute.
course
Are
they'd
you
accept
saying
him.
Prancer's gayer than Dancer?
No, they're co-op bro-op.
is there dancer? Oh
There's
yeah,
a dancer.
Prancer, yeah.
Oh my god, they started the reindeer games.
Yeah,
and
because
they're
Dancy,
fucking body
come on,
shaming
'cause
Rudolph.
technically, if you're hardcore. You could be picking up change and doing the windmill, and that's considered
Yeah, you can
dancing.
still be a.
But if you're prancing, that's different.
I want to see you prancing.
Even
more,
Fred
Marshall.
Astaire, who danced, was a ladies' man.
motherfucking see
That
it.
guy was a
He
stud.
was knee deep in pussy.
Yeah. So Prancer would be the gay one,
That
not
sounds
Dancer.
sticky and hot.
He was staring at them titties. I'm done. That's terrible.
Anyway, moving on. The last one from Gregory J. Huey. And Aaron loves these type of reviews. That's why I put this on. I worked on this film. Just wanted to counter that rating that gave it a 1 star. Since I saw it wasn't a real review, he just says that to every indie horror film. 5 stars.
No, real talk, that's your baby. You fucking put forth effort to make a film.
Yeah.
Air parentheses.
Now, I did not watch all the credits to find out what Gregory J. Huey did on the
Right.
film.
He was best boy.
He was,
Or the grip,
he was a
or-
fart sniffer.
Cookie maker.
Amazon
he might be
regular.
the cookie maker, or the
Fart and
food
cracks.
service guy, or the driver. I don't know. But so that's that. That's 5-star reviews. So that's wraps us up. Bringing it to our final takes on Mrs. Claus. Start with Knots McWerewolf. What is your final take and rating on Mrs. Claus?
Was it so bad it's good or so bad it's scary?
It was so bad it's scary. I give it 3 backseat car murders out of 10. Fuck.
Which is exactly what it had.
I mean, I don't know. Like, some of the kills were cool. The plot fucking sucked weenies to heck. And I don't know. That's it. That's all I got.
All right.
Good, Jeff.
Cincinnati Jeff, what's your take?
All right, Sauce Von Mummy thinks that this was so bad it's scary.
Scary.
I didn't personally enjoy it. I thought that some of the acting was pretty weak. It kind of droned on, for starters. But the
garage
kills
scene.
were pretty rocking. And I got to be honest, though, I've definitely changed my opinion just a little bit more to like it because of what you told me about the ending credits thing. So now I'm kind of wondering, okay, who was Kyle working with, and who was that? Who was dressed as Mrs. Claus in the
In
car?
that second one, yeah, that
Yeah.
makes you worry too. Like who? Because that now that I like it. Well, I'll come back to it on my turn. Aaron, so you're saying so bad, scary.
Yes.
Aaron, what's your?
I'm actually kind of on the fence. I'm between so bad it's scary, so bad it's good. Yes, it was cheap. Yes, there was bad acting. Yes, but it's like we see that crap all the time. I'm going to give it a little bit more leeway because it's an independent movie and it was only made for $10,000 in the, in deep in the heart of Texas. This is also a Texas indie movie.
Oh, I thought
Deep
we were
in the
clapping.
the stars at night are big
Shining
and bright.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
I'm going to cut you off there for 1 second. Just not because of that song, but it reminded me of another song. And I don't know about you guys because if any of you are as sports fans as I am, I don't know. But for some fucking reason, I don't know why, but the goddamn West Virginia song is played everywhere now. Like this, "Take Me Home," "Country Roads."
that fucking shit.
I'm hearing it makes sense. If you're at the University
John
of West
Denver.
Virginia, it makes sense to play that at basketball. But I'm watching basketball games from St. Louis, from Clemson, from other sports and cities that have nothing to do with West Virginia, and in halftime or timeouts, they're playing that Country Road West Virginia song. I don't fucking get it.
Because it is sunshine on my goddamn shoulders, Mr. John fucking Denver.
I don't get
mean,
it.
Country Music Award on
I
fire.
don't find why is that song all of a sudden now
It's
being played
poppin'. It's what-
everywhere.
It's what the kids like.
Fuck that song. Anyway,
Why did you just completely ruin my talk? We're like, stop right there.
Stop the presses!
Now how
did
dare
you?
you?
I have to talk about this West Virginia
I've
shit.
got some news for
I'm
you.
sorry because you all broke down to the deep heart of Texas and made me think of everybody breaking down to that West Virginia song because the entire arena and the entire arena is singing "Take Me Home, Country Road." I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Completely unrelated.
I know, but I couldn't help it.
But Marshall, how do you really feel?
Sorry, I didn't get.
Dude, when he goes to
Anyway,
the
Aaron,
toilets,
you were
it's my favorite.
saying.
Wow. That was a weird turn.
A fart came out.
All right, so back to this holiday horror movie.
Yeah, sorry.
Fuck. I'm gonna have to say so bad it's good.
So bad, it's good for me.
Just barely, and it's because they put effort where effort was supposed to be made. We saw some titties.
Did we watch the same movie?
We did. We did.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. It just barely makes it for me, and the reason it makes it for me again is because we saw the titties. We saw the good amount of gore. We had 4 different favorite kills, so that
Oh my
just shows
God.
that the kills were actually pretty decent overall. Yeah, there were some weak ones, but for $10,000 made on a shoestring budget, kind of a baby, like imagine us getting together trying to make a movie that they did really well for what they had, and they had a superstar. And as far as shitty horror movies are concerned,
dead inside
superstar. And Brittany Stevens, as far as shitty horror movies are concerned, yes. So
she dialed it in off a burner phone.
I just wish she would have put more effort into it. I just wish she would have tried a little bit harder. I wish the director had balls enough to say, "Bitch, step up your game."
Yeah.
Yeah. It just barely makes So Bad It's Good. I probably won't watch it again.
Oh no,
but I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna give him a pat on the back and say, good job.
Yeah, I watched the movie 3 times. Brinky Stevens probably worked for like one day. He's like in and out, and just like dead inside. It's funny. This is gonna be like podcast versus podcast apparently, because I assume saying So Bad It's Good. Now I mostly because we went to Sharks versus Jets.
We got a rumble fish.
The kills. I don't want to oversell them. They're not great or groundbreaking, but what I expected going into this, the blood effects were so much better than I expected. I was impressed by that, and it helped sell the kills a lot. The acting and writing is nothing. This movie isn't breaking any molds. It's not doing anything different. But I did say, I watched it 3 times. The first time I hated it. The second time I was like, eh. And the third time I was like, I guess it grew on me. I don't know. I'm not saying you need to watch it. Watch it once and be done with it. It's not great. It doesn't break any ground, but it's not so bad it's scary. The fact that it doesn't do anything that terrible that we need to it needs to be avoided. It's just there. If you want just a Christmas slasher, throw in the background.
If you want to break up the monotony of Christmas movies.
If you want something different, an independent one, watch it. It's fine. It's free on Amazon, so it's not going to cost you any money.
And Tubi.
Brinky Stevens' name, but she phones in. She sucks, actually. She's the worst. I think she's the worst in the entire movie.
I agree, yeah.
But I'm saying So Bad It's Good. Barely, but it's worth at least, one watch. I'd say one watch.
A one and done.
A one and done, exactly. So there you go. There you go. We split 50-50, 2 and 2. So Bad It's Good, So Bad It's Scary. We split.
You guys want an elephant walk about it?
Yeah, Nachos. I love how Nachos raises his hand. So
I want to congratulate everybody. We went an entire episode without making any fucking Nelly references.
Yeah,
we're moving up as people, and
trust me, I was trying to find Nelly where to drop a Nelly reference in this movie.
He said "juicy old girl." I was like, "Can we?" No, Juicy J. I was trying to do the rap connection, but sha-na-na. As Lake Fear 3 as the lowest standard, personally. Lake Fear, did I say
Lake
right?
Fear's right,
yeah.
For fuck's sake, shit.
I can throw some EI in here real quick just to make you feel better if you want. I can drop some EI.
Drop some EI, baby.
Drop some EI.
What's happening now?
But yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, I mean, anybody else got anything else before we wrap it up?
Well, of course, guys, go ahead and plug your podcast.
We had, here comes
with
Spooky.
an elephant? No, he does that. He does that. I just
tell us where the people can listen to Here Comes the Spooky.
All right. For starters, Here Comes the Spooky podcast. You can find us on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Blueberry,
Pie.
All the places,
all the fucking places where you get your podcast. You can do it.
The gas station down the street.
Got social media. Here Comes the Spooky for Instagram. Here Comes Spooky on Twitter and Facebook. You can also email us at herecomesaspooky@gmail.com.
Hit us up on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter,
on Cheese Machine.
So
So drop us a line. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. We'll talk about Cheese Machine after this.
We started a fucking Patreon. If you see us out in public, buy us a shot.
That's our Patreon.
Yeah, nice.
You're helping fuel the jewels that make the ghouls go woos. I don't fucking know, man.
And speaking of Patreon, since I know they're going to talk about it, make sure that you guys join up for the Horrible Horror Patreon. You can start with $1 a month. Not to be measuring dicks here.
$1 a month.
I do the $5 a month.
Them a beer.
But I'm not just plugging it. I'm also a fan of the show. So give to it. It's it's $1
I'm not
a
only
month.
a member.
It's easy.
I'm a
So
fan.
definitely do it. And it really can help just the production of the show.
That's nice. Having
And it
somebody else
buys
plug
these
our
guys
shit for
beer.
once.
Just like,
Yes, buy us beer. Thank you.
No, it doesn't really go to it's not a beer fund, guys. It does help plug. It does help pay for
It
our
helps pay for
show
the
maintenance.
movies and stuff.
Yeah, it goes to help pay for all the movies we have to watch, and also all the website services we have to pay for, like our domain names that we have to keep renewing every year, and all of our websites we have to pay for every year, and maintenance fees we have to pay, and all this shit we have to keep coming up with.
It adds up. It
It
really
adds
We
does.
were
up
also
a
just
lot.
bitching about Marshall's computer fucking up all the time.
Yeah,
so.
that one too.
Why did your computer cough earlier? I don't understand.
Stop it.
Some of the money goes to a black dildo fund also. but,
Yeah, we have a wall of black dildos behind us in the studio.
It's called the Obsidian Wall.
Yeah, every time we have a movie come on, every time we find a movie that has a black dildo on, we add another dildo to
We
the
buy
wall.
a new one.
It's like
It's funny. There's like 12 of them up
Yeah,
there.
it's surprisingly how many dildos we
if
have.
we laugh too hard, they all jiggle.
They all smell like the backseat of a cab too. It's weird.
Yeah.
With Miss Claus in there, I don't know.
One I got off the street from a hooker. He's got some hair on it still. I don't want to take it off.
Some bloody clumps of Christmas tree
Yeah.
hair.
All right, guys. Anyway, that's it. Christmas, December is over. Happy
Christmas is over.
Christmas season is over. Our December horror movie marathon is ended.
It's the 7th day of Hanukkah.
It is. We are going into the new year now. So when we come back, I believe it will be 2020 next time you hear us. So thank you very much for joining us for this ride and join. We had a good time in 2019. Who knows what 2020 is going to hold? We're going to enjoy it. We're going to love it. We're going to have fun with it. And we hope you come along for the ride. In the meantime, guys, watch some more horror movies and remember to always keep it tight.